Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. Sorry, it took me a second. I am I was just sharing out the stream. Hey Robin. What are you doing awake? Part of it is at nighttime is the only time I can do live streams and um checks out people's videos they post. And now it's kind of like um I try to go to sleep and it ain't working. So I'm up and my parents are asleep. So, Al, hello. It's good to see you, Al Skinner. But yeah, couldn't sleep and decided to go live. I've been wanting to work on some games, and due to my internet, I've been I've got to put those on hold for right now. And my on my D Live platform, I went live a couple times this past month, and I've still got replays going there. You guys, if you do have D Live, check them out because you can see that the picture quality of those streams is not the greatest. And that's one of the reasons why you don't see me on camera right now. um, and that's what I've been doing is live streaming from a phone on YouTube. So it takes the stress off the modem, I think. Not as much anyway. Um, my computer, it's been updating itself and doing um, doing its thing. I've actually uninstalled a lot of games that I had initially downloaded. Um, and a lot of them I want to play multiplayer, and right now I just can't because either everybody's awake when I cannot get on the internet, or um, I do get on the internet and either nobody's awake or they're busy. So I've been kind of like stuck um in a catch 22. And so a lot of those games I uninstalled off of the computer, but I've kept in my library so I don't have to go buy it again. And we haven't really had many updates going on. I did, if y'all have not checked it out, I did another gaming video. It took a while for it to upload. It is called Fallen Angel Gaming, The Sims 4 Part 2. That one was a interesting thing because I've done things on accident and I forgot I'd done them and didn't correct them before I started the game with Peyton, who was the character that we are going to be following on The Sims. And it has a little bit of funny stuff on it. I did get a copyright claim. So you may see that it ends up being like edited a little bit. Because the game apparently uses some music that it claims copyright automatically, which is not a good thing. Um, so that whole like 5 minutes of that song was playing, and it would have been trimmed out. And at that point, there was some important information that I found out from the people that were coming in and saying hello and hanging out. Um, that I kind of wanted to keep in there. And with The Sims, I am actually not editing that much on the game itself. When I go to make the videos, I don't want to clip and, do the transitions and all that stuff when it's been a straight gameplay. Just been kind of here, there, and everywhere. I did download a couple of games. One of them was free. Yeah. One of them was free, and it's called Little Nightmares. And I'm gonna be playing that, and I'm gonna be recording that for you guys. I've never played the game. I've never watched a walkthrough of this. So yeah. This is gonna get interesting. And you're probably gonna see me get stuck on certain parts of the game because I don't know what I'm doing on it. And I do kind of have an update. I don't think Ghost Dog is going to be able to stream for the next couple of days, even though I know he wants to. He had issues with his computer, and they're being fixed now. Hey, Canadian Witch, good to see you. It's good to see everybody here. I couldn't sleep. Um, I've done some things on my computer, downloaded some things and updates, and then I tried to play the sniper game, and it just wasn't letting me. So I was like, oh, screw it, whatever. And for some reason, the last few days, this internet has been really, really bad. So I'm doing what I can where I can. And it really sucks. It really does. It kind of makes me a little sad that I can't do the things I want to do when I want to because of the internet situation is so bad. I mean, if you look at some of the streams that I've done more recently on DLive, you can see that the video quality is pretty bad. And that's one of the main reasons why you don't see my picture on here is it's going to get laggy. It's going to look distorted. And I don't want you guys having to see that. To me, it's cringy. It's annoying. I would rather be more of a podcast type of thing right now until something gets better. But if anybody wants to come up, y'all are more than welcome to just shoot me a private message and I'll send you a link. Yeah, I was on in the last 24 hours, I was on a couple people's panels, and it ended up within a certain amount of time. It just cut out on me. It just didn't want to do right. It So I'm struggling, guys, with my internet, like really bad. Even like if I'm on Discord watching somebody stream, because I can't watch the actual stream on the right platform. um Even Discord gives me a lot of trouble. You'll hear me kind of garbled and whatever, and it's because my internet is not keeping up with everything. And it's almost at the point where um we'll probably have a technician come out and do a couple more things. And if that don't work, it's probably going to get switched at some point. I mean, it works for when I want to watch a YouTube video. It works when only when nobody's on it, I can watch streams on like certain platforms, but it still gives me a hard time. No, Canadian Witch. Every time I mentioned it, um, personally mentioned it, they were not exactly keen on it. And the only other thing that we can do is get like satellite, and I know it's going to be just as bad um as what I got now. God, the good one. Hello, good morning. I'm doing okay. How are you? Yeah, I would have to get satellite, and it would probably be Dish Network. And with that, you have to bundle things together to get the internet. And so it will cost a little bit more than what initially we were expecting. So that's something that's kind of like put on the back burner right now. Yes, it does suck. um, I know AT&T has been trying to phase out DSL. My problem with that is they're trying to go to wireless, where it is supposed to send. It's sort of like having mobile data, but it goes to a modem instead of like a phone. Hey, Boomer. Hey, Misty. It's good to see y'all. Are you taking my advice? I've been trying to talk to my family because technically I don't own the house, and they're talking about it, but right now it's put on the back burner. It is so good to see everybody. And yeah, if y'all want to come up, just shoot me a direct message. Um, it could be instant messenger, like Facebook Messenger, Discord, or Twitter, and I will um, send a link out. So, how is everybody? And Boomer done a 24-hour live stream and got done probably about 5:30 ish yesterday evening, and he done it. It was a pretty interesting one. There was some paranormal stuff happen. I still can't figure out what that thing was that I clipped. You're on another? Well, that's cool, Boomer. So, yeah, I'm kind of like stuck like Chuck when it comes to my internet. I didn't plan really to go live. I got done with some things on my computer. I went to go lay down and I couldn't sleep, so I just popped up and went live. But it's so good to see everybody. And usually, and I've learned this the hard way, if you're going to do live streams and you plan on going live, most of the time you're going to hit some snags in the road. And with me, a lot of the times there are things beyond my control. So when I do schedule something, I can't exactly go live when I say I will. So I stopped doing that. I stopped trying to put a schedule out. Unfortunately, but yeah, just chilling, wanted to hang out with peoples. And I know like the Sims games is not everybody's cup of tea. It can seem boring. Stuck on another panel. Just happened to be over here. Oh, that's cool, Boomer. I appreciate you stopping by and being here for a minute. I'd love to have a karaoke night, but then it'd get kind of out of hand. um, I know on D Live I enjoy playing songs in the background and singing, and I just sing just to sing. I don't really do the karaoke thing much. You play Sims, Misty? Oh, that's cool. My my little login for The Sims is the same as what you see on my Twitter handle, and basically every platform I got, except for Trovo and D Live. Trovo and D Live has got 13 in my name, and it's thrown everybody off because everybody's trying to copy the old links. Oh, you're a gamer too. That's cool. I tend to go for a variety of different games. I've got Fall Guys, which I love playing. Oh, you're good, Al. And congratulations, by the way. It's let's see. I got Fall Guys, I got The Sims, I've got Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. I'm supposed to be getting the Sniper Ghost Warrior contract game, the newest one that come out. I've got Little Nightmares. I've got Phasmophobia, Among Us, Brawlhalla, which I'm still working on, Canadian Witch. Hadn't really had time to sit down and try to play it. I've got a game called Seven Days to Die, I believe it's what it's called. So I do have a variety. of games, from scary to not so scary, just funny type games. Hey, Randy. And it's good that you dropped by. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. And I hope you have a good morning as well. Oh, that would be cool, Al. PS3, but never use it much but movies. You know, I have had an Xbox long time ago. It had the Ring of Death on it. And I had my Nintendo Wii. Both of them, I've watched more movies on those than I did anything else. One good thing about having a computer for me personally, instead of a console, I understand the consoles are better for just playing the games and that sort of thing. But for me, having just a computer helped me a lot. Hey, Boomer, give me just a second. I got to figure out how to do this because I haven't done this in a while on my phone. Let's see. Come on. There. It worked. Okay. Boom. Okay. Send it to a couple of places. Okay. Where? Okay. Sorry, it took me a second. Hey, Jesse James, good to see you. Will I be live tomorrow? Yes, but I'm not sure what time. Okay. Hello. Hey, Boomer.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Yeah. Tired. Worn out.
Oh, I don't blame you. You done a 24-hour stream and you still kept going.
Yeah.
You're
what was it, 2 hours over there at Cab singing,
Yeah.
and it's was it 30, about 34 hours now with 5 hours of sleep. So
Oh wow. Hey Mo, good to see you.
hey Mo, I haven't seen Mo in a minute.
He's been popping in and saying hello when I've done my late streams,
Mm.
which I've been doing those because this is the best time for my internet.
Oh yeah, right. Why is my camera? No. Oh, there it is. Hey, there he is. Like everybody wants to see that face, right?
Okay, Misty.
How you doing, Amanda?
She done a thing.
Mm.
Mo's good peeps. Yes. He's always been respectful and coming when he comes in.
Hey,
I think,
Misty. I forgot to say hi. Sorry.
oh, you're good.
Yeah, I forgot to hang with you for a bit. Then I gotta think about getting some sleep.
No, I don't blame you there. Like, I've been up since well, I was up until 7 o'clock yesterday morning. Then I went to sleep
Mhm.
for a little bit, got up about 11, 12 o'clock,
Yeah,
and then I've been kind of like up since then.
yeah.
So I didn't get much sleep. And don't you just hate it when like you're in one of those weird moods, like you know you have to sleep, you need to sleep, and you can't go to
But
sleep?
yeah, yeah.
That's my thing.
You run around trying to find things to do or shows to watch that'll like get you bored enough to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, what I always tell people, hey, if you ever have trouble going to sleep and Boomer's doing a live stream, hop on over to Boomer's live stream. He'll be sure to put you to sleep within an hour.
Well, that's not true, but now I've gotten to where lately, like I'll be on Discord when Ghost Dog goes live on D Live,
Mhm.
or even just me and him just hanging out in his voice chat,
Right.
and he's playing a game and he streams it there too on Discord, and I'll sit there and interact with him, talk to him, and if I'm not playing the game myself, and there's been times that I fell asleep, and my mom's like,
Mhm.
you know, he was hollering at you to quit snoring, and I'm like, did
Yeah.
I really snore? He said no, but you sound like a heavy breather there, like you're fixing to.
Mm, right.
So,
Yeah, I've had to be muted before on other people's panels because I would doze off on their panel and I'd start snoring. They'd just like, yeah, mute them. He'll
I've
wake back up and come back in 5 minutes.
I've had a few people fall asleep on mine. Of course, when I was strictly on YouTube, I was doing like
Right.
Midnight Madness type of thing, and
Oh yeah,
I'd
I
stay
remember
on,
that.
and it'd be just different topics talking, and all of a sudden you start noticing that somebody's snoring,
Yeah.
and I'm surprised Ghost Dog didn't tease the hell out of me for falling asleep on him.
Yeah.
But
I've had quite a few people fall asleep on me on my panels before. Um, But those were the days where I was like doing regular 8 to 10 hour live streams, like on a regular almost every day.
Yeah.
I'd usually have, it's usually the same group of people that wanted to be on the panel. Like I could hardly ever get anybody new to come up on panels. Usually the same, 10 to 15 people, and but
Hmm.
with Mama Rock and Lou Rock, they used to come up on the panels all the time. It was on YouTube. Mama
Hmm.
Rock would be the first one to be dozing off on the panel. It was like she'd be falling out quick. But yeah, that was back in the day when Boomer could, had a little more uh stamina, I guess.
Me, it's my whole internet thing. If I was to try to do a 24-hour live stream, it will never
Yeah,
survive.
yeah. True. Actually, at some point, after I finally went to sleep, um, at some point, luckily I had the other two phones on the call with it, and
Mm.
the other one was a co-host. So when it kicked me out of the Zoom call, it transferred host to the phone, so it didn't end the live stream, fortunately. And when I got up around 1 or so, I noticed what had happened. I was like, oh man, I got lucky.
Yeah, that's what I normally do. Like, if I'm going to be up and about, I used to set my phone to where it was co-hosting and just be sitting there,
Yeah. Yep.
because for some reason the Ethernet connection liked to kick me out of Zoom.
Oh wow.
Did that for the longest time. Now it don't do that, but
Yeah.
I've had my computer shut down in the middle of a live stream and I had to come back. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Right. Right.
But it's just crazy.
So what'd you think of that last night? Well, now it's Wednesday, so Monday night, Tuesday, whatever it was. I'm working on like 3/4 brain power right now. So,
Oh,
um,
you're good.
what'd you think of it? I mean, energy per um permitting, uh, you think it like would it be something you think I could do every once in a while again, or
I think
like would it be worth doing another 24-hour stream sometime?
I think it would definitely be worth it. I mean, coming from somebody that used to do that all the freaking
Right.
time,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand. Um, but yeah, a couple times a month, um, do
Uh,
something like. I think it'll work out. I think it would be really good.
yeah. I was thinking like maybe once a month or something like that. Like, you know, not on a Monday again though. Um, like maybe the first Friday of each month or something.
Yeah.
Do 1 24 hour, and I'm not gonna start at a dumb hour like 5:30 again either. Um, start at like I don't know noon, and then run until noon the next day. Something like that.
That sounds pretty
Um,
good. I've
because during the day hours for the first 6 hours or whatever till nightfall, like we could just sit and like talk paranormal stuff, and then like at nightfall we could break out the like ghost box and the ITC app and things like that, and show the night vision cameras and shit, and just have
yeah,
that running throughout the night, and then the next day we'll just let it go till noon again.
that sounds
I
like a
was,
great idea.
yeah, because it was pretty much a spur of the moment idea Monday night. I was like, I started live stream at 5:30, just to do a para talk live stream. And I'm like, I wonder if I could do a 24 hours. So I'm like, yeah, let's change the title, add 24-hour live feed stream with
And you got
para.
some awesome captures and the
Yeah, that one. Wow. Oh, and thank you so much for thinking to actually send me the link to that clip too, because I didn't think of it. And when I was over on Billy's earlier, people were asking about it. And it was like, because I had also like all day I was trying to debunk this shit. All right. So what I was doing, I was using my OBS to record the live stream, parts of the live stream and stuff like that, and I'd analyze it. I did a slow mo and all that of it, doing whatever I could to debunk it, and I couldn't. But so I was showing them that on Billy's, and all of a sudden, like somebody mentioned something about a clip. I'm like, oh wait, speaking of clip, Fallen Angel sent me a fucking clip. Why didn't I think of that? And so I shared the clip of it, and they're all like, wow. I'm like, yeah, I guess it's a while now that I've spent, because right after Cap 7's karaoke, I immediately went to the footage and started analyzing that shit. Like, I spent 2.5 hours trying to debunk it, because I finally came down from my initial high of it happening, and I started reasoning with it, and thinking more about it. And for 2 hours, I did everything. I recorded it, made a slow-mo copy, and like I guess I'm gonna have to accept it for for it being legitimate. You know what I'm saying? So it was a cool capture. But I think the part you may have missed at the end, I think you ended up getting off before. Were you there when I opened the ITC app and had Sarah doing the artboard?
I
Or did you
think
leave
my
before
computer,
that?
my internet decided to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. But yeah, so I opened up the ITC app and I screen shared it for a little bit so people could see Sarah doing her thing on the artboard and stuff. And then I stopped sharing and stuff. And when I decided to go to bed at like 7:30 this morning, or yesterday morning, I just let it play. She sat there and played with that artboard until the battery died. Like, she was there on it all night long, all the way up until I woke up at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and I still let it keep going. And then eventually I look over and I see that the phone's off. And I'm like, well, what happened here? She had played it and it was on the charger. So she was playing on it so much, she actually drained the battery to absolute dead.
You must really love to be able to draw.
Oh yeah, she is wonderful at it too. Like, she is learning to draw the circles better and stuff like that. She knows how to open the tic-tac-toe board and all that.
That is really cool.
Yeah. I have videos on my YouTube channel of them doing it. Like, I use my Mobizen screen recorder and then uploaded them to my YouTube channel. So I have a bunch of different videos of them using the ITC app.
Oh wow.
Hey, Angel. Angel's Army, what's up?
Angel, hello.
Yeah, I was very.
Yeah, that's fine.
Excuse me.
No.
Yeah, I was very, very thankful you guys being there for that last night. I mean,
and it was so cool. It was literally during the spirit box session. All I heard was everybody's names and they were making comments and it was like a big gossip fest. Like they
Yeah.
were all talking about everybody that was
Yeah.
at that time connecting via chat or on the panel,
Hmm.
just talking about us, and it was just really weird. And I'm like,
Yeah, it almost felt like being at a party where there's a group of 5 or 6 people up in the corner, kind of looking your way, then talk, and kind of like those five, that group of 5 people are just sitting there talking about everybody else. It was weird.
and Angel, if you want to come up, you're more than welcome to. The thing is, you'll have to DM me on Twitter to be able to, so I can get you the link for it because I cannot.
If you want me to, I could send them. I could copy the link and send it to them on Twitter.
Well, if you can, I would greatly appreciate it because
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
I'm
That's
like
simple.
very limited. It's like
Yeah.
even trying to, I have to redo the chat on the YouTube side,
Hmm.
and it took a good 10 seconds for it to load just the chat.
Right, right. Yeah, it's
And
so much simpler on the computer. Like it's just a matter of clicking, copying, and pasting.
yep,
Oh yeah. All right,
Lady
so I
Swan.
got it to him. Check your Twitter, Hunez. That's my new nick. That's my nickname for Angel. Hunez. What's up, Hunez?
It's good to see you, Lady Swan.
Oh wow, Heather in the house. What's up?
She's like, I'm awake.
And Jesse James too. What's up, Jess? Crack-a-lackin'. It's been a minute since I've been on one of your panels, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a while. Hey, what's up, Mr. Hunez? Hey, I like
Hey,
your new place, bro.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me fine?
What's that? I can't quite hear. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you. Yeah, I did a tour of my new house yesterday.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
you would not believe that was a double wide trailer. You would think you were walking through like somebody's like actual like it looked like an actual house. Like everything's like um ceramic tile. I was like, wow, that's a lot of ceramic tile.
Oh wow.
But damn, that place looks fantastic, bro. It does.
And I'll be bringing things in hopefully starting next week because I just got some boxes when I was
Awesome.
leaving work tonight.
I've been doing great. 1981. Yeah, well, hey, dude, if you ever need a roommate, man, let me know.
Um, for right now, I'm using the second bedroom, the smaller one, as my office place for my YouTube channel.
You know I'm kidding, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
yeah,
you. I missed you.
that's a perfect like I was kind of thinking along those lines. If that was my place, that's exactly what I would have done with that room because it's a perfect size for a nice little office area.
That's really, really cool.
You'll
I
have to
better
check it
got
out. You'll have to check it out for
room.
yourself when you get the chance, Colin.
Okay, I will. I think one time I slid in and lurked on one of your live streams, and I don't think I was able to say hello. Every time I tried to say something, it kicked it back out. And
Yeah,
it
really?
my,
Because I don't have you hidden, and I saw you say hi yesterday when I was doing my early morning live stream when I couldn't fall asleep that night, and I was live for about 4 straight hours, and I saw you in the chat.
I seen you, and like I did say hey, but it kept telling me, and this has to be my internet situation. It kept kicking it out like I couldn't say anything. I was like, okay,
Wow. Yeah,
yeah,
it sounds like your internet is like giving you problems where like when you try to say hey or hi, your connection goes weak and you can't like do anything because your connection is either instantly disconnected or is not as strong.
yeah. That's AT&T for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's ever since I've been on YouTube, it's just been slowly declining. It seems like, and
Um,
it's frustrating.
I mean, I'm still on YouTube, but over the past couple months, I just haven't been on as much, and it's not because I hate YouTube anything or anything. I love YouTube, but it's just that work has been busy, and I've been working like 4 or 5 days a week, and on days when they needed me to be there, I'll be there. So it's been crazy with work and the house hunting prior to me getting the keys to my official owned home. I was looking for houses all throughout March, and in April of this year, I finally found one. And when I began the process, oh man, there was a lot of documents and a lot of things that need to be signed, and a lot of talks between me, the seller, my Century 21 agent, and so much more. And April and May, geez, it was like a battlefield, you could say. But I made it through, and I got everything that I needed to get done. My Century 21 agent was more than willing to help me out and that kind of stuff. And in fact, they offered their services to me at no charge.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really cool.
But yeah, it's just been busy in my life lately, which is why I haven't been able to upload as much as I used to.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just like,
when I get settled into my new house, I definitely will plan on doing more stuff on my channel. But I just need to make sure I get my moving done right. Like go through all my stuff and seeing what it is that I can throw away, what I can sell, what I can um, uh, get money for, etc. And to pack the stuff I know I'm going to keep. Yeah, moving is like a tedious thing that nobody likes, but it has to be done in one way or
Moving
another.
sucks, period.
Yeah, yeah,
say
ain't that the
that.
truth?
Yeah. I've moved probably about I've lived in probably about 20 or 30 different places in the last 20 or 30 years. Like almost like every year I was like moving somewhere else, you know. It
Wow.
sucks. Like this where I'm at right now is the longest I've ever been in one place in my whole life. Other, you know, in my whole adult life. I've been
And
here
my
12 years and usually I'm never anywhere more than a year or two. And then
um,
I'm up
um
and gone again.
I pretty much have been in the same thing with you. When I was still in Minnesota, the apartment that I lived from December of 2016 until late of July of 2019, and that was a little over 2.5 years right there. But since moving here, it's like every year I've went from one apartment to another. The first place that I lived at here in Arizona, but when I had moved here from the July of 2019 until the July of last year, that took a big chunk of money out of my
Oh yeah.
pocket. It
Yeah,
was
I
three
remember
thousand.
that.
It was $3,800 a month, and
Wow. Yeah.
I just couldn't believe how expensive it was. But after that, I had moved out of there into the place that I'm currently living at. And do I want to live in another apartment for just 1 year? No, I would rather own a place that I can live at for like 5 to 10 years before I can say I'm ready to move again.
Right. Yeah, I remember that when you first moved down there, you were excited as hell that you finally got there. Weren't you like staying with your brother or something when you first got there or something like that?
Yeah, when
Or
I first got here, I was staying with my brother, and I even stayed with my sister for a bit. But it's just so that I could have a place to live at until it was time for me to move in that expensive apartment
yeah.
that did no help.
So you've been out there now what, 2, 3 years?
Going on
And
to 2
you've
years come the July of next month.
and you've already moved like 4 different times now, right?
Except for the move that I'm doing right now, 3 different times, but this will be number 4,
Yeah,
but it will
yeah.
be the last for a while.
Yeah. See, that's kind of how the first 3/4 of my adulthood was. you know, with the exception of being in the military, I was in the barracks for a year and a half or two, close to 2 years before I got married and moved out of the barracks and in with my wife and stuff. And then ever since, it's like we didn't live anywhere more than maybe a year. As soon as our year lease was up, we were moving somewhere else. Like, and that's the way it was. And just crazy, crazy.
I mean, I could have like signed another 1 year lease deal with this apartment, but if I did, it wouldn't give me enough to buy the house that I wanted. So I figured might as well make one of my 2021 goals to purchase a home, and that is now checked off my 2021 list.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, in the last year I've moved like 3 different times, and it's never fun moving
Nah.
and having to double check. And then, like the first place I was at, there wasn't enough room for all the stuff I had
Right.
to take with me. So my parents had gotten me a bed, and I had some sheets and stuff for that bed. I just left it there. I
Yeah.
was like, somebody else can have it. It's a brand new, literally just bought it right before I left.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it rolled up like it's one of those that's in a like a square box type thing. And it was rolled up and vacuumed. There was no way I was getting it back in the box.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I'm kind of losing that.
Oh yeah. I mean, every
Yeah.
move I ever made something would have to get left behind or lost. But there's a couple times we were fortunate we were able to rent like storage places,
Yeah.
keep our stuff in storage until we got an actual place. Because when we first moved back to my hometown from where I was living with my wife, and we stayed with my mom and dad for a while, and we just took all our shit and just put it in a storage somewhere, and until we found our own place and did it that way. Because yeah, it sucks. Like sometimes you end up going somewhere where you don't have enough room for all your shit, and you have to leave shit behind. I had to do that coming here. Coming into this 1 bedroom apartment, as spacious as it is, considering it's a 1 bedroom, I didn't have room for all of my shit. So I had to like give it most of it up or just, leave it behind. And yeah, that sucks. That's the worst part about having to move, is not being able to take everything that you've collected with you.
Well, the good
Right.
thing is that my new home is about like almost 100 square foot bigger than the apartment, because my current
There
apartment
you
is around 760, and the new one
go. Hmm.
is like close to um uh, 860 as well.
Right, right.
760, 860, 100 right
Yeah.
there. It's pretty spacious, but the everything in there I say is pretty awesome. I mean, I don't need a walk-in closet. I mean, even though a closet
Right.
here in my apartment is good and all, I
Yeah.
don't need that big of a space for all my clothes. And the closet that is in my new home is okay with me. And I could probably put my work clothes
Yeah.
in the other closet in my soon to be office room for my YouTube channel.
Right.
So that way on days when I know I have to go to work, I can just make one trip to that room and grab them and don't have to go through hanger to hanger. And
Mhm.
uh, uh, so yeah, but I know what you're talking about because I may have to give some stuff up myself here as well. Because one of the things I know I'll be getting rid of is not the TV that I currently have, but it was the TV that I had before I got the one that I have now. That TV, unfortunately, has a cracked screen, and no one likes a TV with a
What
cracked
model
screen.
is it?
A Hisense.
Oh no. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 3 flat screen TVs down in my living room that none of them work. Like, and I'm looking for like the same model of TVs where I could like make one good TV out of a couple.
Um,
um,
Yeah, because the Hisense one that has the cracked screen is an Android TV, and I just wanted to
yeah,
try a different TV because the TV that I had before I got that Hisense um uh um was actually a Roku TV. And
right, right,
last year when I had moved to here to my current apartment, I just wanted to get a new TV because I couldn't
yeah,
deal with everything that the Hisense Android TV was giving me. I prefer
but
Roku over Android TVs
yeah.
because
I
Roku
like
has more
Android,
apps and
but
that it only
right, right,
has a small number of storage, like less than 3 gigs of storage on
right.
that TV, which is not room for very many apps.
I do have a bit of advice for everybody actually. Whatever you do, don't get yourself one of these pieces of shit Vizio things, okay? I've had more trouble with this TV than I've had in any TV I've ever had in my whole life.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it is
Yeah.
slow loading up. It is like
Yep.
even when I had it downstairs for a minute, hooked up with the um hooked up with the straight to the box with the well, the cord we were talking about once before.
Yeah.
Even with hardwired to the router, that TV is like, I mean, it takes forever for it to
Mm.
do what you're commanding it to do with the remote. Like I'll be sitting here hitting the remote, the back button, like 50 times, and 20 minutes later, it'll do what I want it to do. This is the worst investment I ever made. I just the only reason why I got it is because it was the only 2 TVs in 3 different stores I went to for TV.
I,
um,
my parents got a
so,
Vizio, and it's not necessarily a quote unquote smart TV, but it can hook to
yeah,
something that is a smart thing.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
supposed to be able to do 3D and
yeah,
all this
yeah.
other stuff. Well, it doesn't work with a remote. We've tried
Right,
universal
right.
remotes, it didn't work. Now it's
There's
gotten where you hit the volume down button and the volume goes way up to like half of where it should be. It's like
right,
50% volume and it's like blaring like really freaking loud. And it's
right,
like you're you have to keep working with it to get the volume to go back down. And it can take up to 2 hours for it to warm up completely so you can
yep,
actually watch the picture.
yep, yep.
Wow.
My nephew told me he had a friend who had a Vizio. He tells me this after I buy the damn thing. He's like, "Oh, Vizios, they suck." I had a friend who had one caught on fire, and I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, you're telling me
Oh,
this now after I spent $350 on this thing? Really?" I mean,
I think this one with the package that they got, it was like a Black Friday deal. It was like 600 or 700 with the box that it came with, and it had
Right.
3 stuff and all this other stuff. And they've had it for a few years, about 5 years, and it's like on its last leg.
Right. Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TVs these days don't like you remember. I don't know if you're old enough to remember like the console TVs like Zenith and you know the first like real color TV was like this big old console TV thing. Zenith was like the prime brand. Everybody was them damn things would last. We had one for about 25 years. When they first came out with color TV, we were one of the first families on our block to have one of those, a color television. This was late 70s, I think, mid to late 70s. And we had that damn TV in our house up until they still had it when I went into the army, like from mid 70s to mid 90s. So over 20 years. You know, they knew how to build shit back then.
Right.
Zenith sold out to, I think, Magnavox, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
We
kind of inherited a TV that was my grandmother's, and we can't get it to work, but my grandmother had it forever. Like, I remember when I was really little that she had the same exact TV.
Right.
And I'm like 35 now.
Right.
And it just kind of quit.
Yeah.
Probably about.
Yeah, you are a youngster, aren't you? Wow, yeah. I'm talking about shit I had as a kid in the 70s. She's like, yeah, I'm 35. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, you wouldn't have any idea what you're probably lost it with what I got to say. I'm like, yeah. Hey,
But-
Amanda, tell you what, bring them bitches with you when you move to Philly, because I'm 4 hours away from Philly. Okay, I could arrange a way to meet halfway or something if you want. If you want to give up those TVs, if you're just giving them away, bring them bitches with you to Philly. I'm not far away from there.
If she can, she probably will.
Oh,
Num-
she would. She definitely would if she could.
But yeah, if I knew Vizio was going to give us such a hard time,
Yeah.
and we can't even switch channels without it trying to mess with the volume.
I'm in the same, like the only reason why I went to Walmart, nothing. I went to Best Buy, nothing. Then I go over to Target, and the only thing they had left in this size, I didn't want one of 65 inches. I could have got one if I wanted to, but I didn't want something that big right now because I wanted something for the bedroom. So they had 2 40-inch Vizios left. And I'm like, well, I'm going to get one while I can, So I buy this damn thing. I bring it home. My nephew comes over one time, like, oh, man, I wouldn't have got that. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, that's the shittiest TV, man. I had a friend, his shit actually caught fire and all that. I'm like, yeah, oh, okay, thanks for telling me. I would have held out, or I would have got one of the 50 inches. They had a Samsung 50-inch smart TV. I would have gotten that for an extra $200 if I knew then what I know now,
Yeah.
But yeah. Sucks,
Live and
man. I'm
learn,
stuck with this piece of shit.
Gotta live and learn. Heck, we've
Yeah.
got computers like desktop towers
Right.
that have stopped working because some of the parts, like
Yeah.
they were
They're
easy.
outdated and shit, right?
Yeah, so we could, if I really wanted to, we could have made a Frankenstein computer.
Mhm.
But because they're so old now, it's easier just to buy a brand new one.
Oh yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And
this, I got one right under here, right next to me. My dad's old computer, the first computer he ever had. It's a, I think what is it, a Dell or whatever it is. The one with the cow pattern thing. What is it? Gateway. This is. I don't even think Gateway even exists anymore. But he got this little puppy back in '95. And that's what it still has Windows 95 in it. And I was using it up until I got my first laptop, which I snapped the damn screen off from. And then I got this one. But yeah, it's still hanging around. I've got a lot of my art, um a list of my different art I've done. What do you call it? On what's that program called again? Damn it.
OneDrive,
No. Oh shit, this is way before OneDrive. No, what the hell's that program called? Spreadsheets.
spreadsheet.
So the only reason why I still have it around is so if I need to get to my records of my art stuff that I've done, I can just plug it in, hook it up, stick a disk in there, and download that information on the disk, and then transfer that onto my laptop if I have to. But otherwise, I would have just thrown it out a long time ago. But yeah, at this point, a computer like that can't be upgraded to what we need these days without, it is more beneficial to just buy a new computer.
Yeah.
Right.
Because just recently I had accidentally spilled some water on a computer that I was saving as a backup, which was a Dell G7 gaming laptop.
Right.
Luckily, I had a accidental warranty on that, and I just sent that computer
There you
back
go.
to Dell just last week, and I'm just waiting for them to return it to me. And so yeah, it's better to just buy it new. The when I had bought a used computer one time, at a pawn shop, uh, that uh, so yeah, it's just better to buy it new.
Right.
And pretty much everything that you had with your TV there, Fallen and Boomer, is pretty much what it was with my Android. Never go with an
Yeah.
Android TV. Android phones are great, but their TVs, they're crap.
Well, LG, the LG brand, um, is a good brand. Now,
Yeah.
LG could come with Windows software or Android software or whatever. Yeah, definitely going with a TV that has Windows software, as far as smart TVs go, yeah, it's more beneficial because there is a wider variety of apps and stuff on it and stuff. Um, yeah, but Android is just an operating system.
Yep.
But what was was it made by Android? Was it an actual was that the brand of the TV or was that just operating system in it?
I think it's just the operating system, like how Roku is with most TCL TV.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was with my Hisense Android TV. Is it was the
Yeah.
operating system on that, and less than like 1 month of me having it,
You used up all the memory.
well, no.
Right?
It froze up on me, and I
Oh,
tried like
wow.
pressing the power button, but the
Right.
TV wouldn't turn off.
Right.
And I tried other kinds of ways, but every time it would
Right.
freeze on me, I would have to go to my power adapter with every plug on there and either unplug that cord itself and plug it back in, or press the power of the outlet and turn everything off and
Yep.
turn them back on. And
That's
so,
what happens with this one. Every once in a while, it'll just like blink out or freeze up where I have to go over there. I can't just simply turn the TV off and fix it. I have to go over, cut the power source, turn the power source back on, and then turn the TV back on, and then let it load up to the home screen, and then start all over again with going to the whatever I was watching.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what it was with
Yeah.
me. And oftentimes, whatever I was watching on there, it would not save from the previous part. It would start all over from the beginning.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Exactly. This one sometimes, every once in a while, I've noticed it recently. This one will not like it for some reason. Like it doesn't save the program up to date with it. Like if I'm in the middle of a program, right, and if it freezes up or whatever, and I have to turn it back on, or if I back out of it to go watch something else, or whatever. When I come back to that show, it always starts to show at least 5 minutes prior to what I see it. So I'm sitting there, I have to watch 5 minutes of something I've already watched before I can see what's coming up next. You know what I mean? It like it's almost like the memory doesn't, it's almost like with these cameras. Like if I go to do a playback on my camera, it there's 5 minutes of recording that hasn't caught up yet. You know, it takes like 5-10 minutes for it to catch up to the now time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That happens sometimes with this TV. Like, and it depends on it never did it on Hulu for some reason. But depending on what I'm watching it through, like on Prime, some of the Prime channels, it's done that. Netflix, it constantly does it with Netflix. If I'm watching a Netflix show and I back out of it and I go to hit it again on my keep watching list, and I go to my keep watching list and I go to watch it again, like it'll be on the right season and stuff, like the right episode, it'll be on the right episode, but 10 minutes, behind. I'm like, well, I gotta sit here and watch 10 minutes of this shit. And then I think, wait, you can fast forward it. All right, okay. But it's a hassle, It's like I don't understand why it doesn't, the memory system isn't real time. It's like it's always 5-10 minutes behind. Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never owned any of those types of TVs before. I don't even know what they are. My main brands that I prefer is LG. LG are a awesome brand. Magnavox, I think they still are in operation. I'm not sure. And Samsung. My top one would be Samsung, then LG, and then I think they still make Magnavox. I don't know, but they used to be the top brands. Zenith doesn't even exist anymore. So I think they sold out to Magnavox, if I remember right.
Yeah.
I remember when the first flat screen, not flat TV, but flat screen TVs came out back in, I think it was 92, something like that. Is when they still look like a regular tube TV, but it just had a flat screen in front as opposed to the concave ones, like the old TV. I don't even know if you guys even seen one of those before. Have you ever seen the old tube TVs before? Have you ever watched one? I don't know.
No.
But yeah, I remember when the first flat screen TVs came out. And then then 20 some odd years later, they come out with flat TVs. I'm like, wow, that's awesome, because I got a couple of 300-pounders downstairs in my back room too. I got a 55-inch flat screen, but it's the large, tube TV types, but it's flat screen. and I got a 37-inch large and them things are freaking heavy, and I can't get rid of them because we can't dump shit like that in our dumpsters out here on the complex. And in order to get rid of them, I would have to take them to the dump or salvage or whatever and pay a fee to dispose of them. I'm like, I can't afford that, sir. You hear me? But yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 other TVs. 5 of them don't work at all, and they're all downstairs. And the one I do have, it's a 20-inch old box. It's like a 1970s. Like it looks like a 1970s type 20-inch color TV. Works great, but it's a little out of date. I mean, I can plug it in. If I had cable, I can plug it in and connect it to the cable and watch TV on it. Like it has a great picture still and everything, but it's just so outdated. Like there's no, you know, no connections. Whereas like with these flat screen TVs, you could hook your computer up to it or whatever and watch some Netflix or Hulu on it. You can't do it with these fucking things. So I don't know what to do with that one. Like ain't nobody gonna want to buy it, you know. Nobody watches shit like that anymore.
Yeah, and there were a few things that I liked about the Hisense Android TV that I had, like the fact that I could Google Cast videos that I'm watching or on like streaming services onto my Hisense Android TV, and the fact that it had many different functions of HDR content on there. There were a few things, but there were more bad than good for the Hisense TV that I had before I had gotten my TCL TV.
You know what? That's a good idea, Amanda. I never thought of that. But yeah, those huge ass TVs I have downstairs, the boxes to them would be perfect for something like that. You want to come up and get them? Be my guest. Yeah. I never thought of like that, like recycling them into something like that before. Um, that'd be cool. I mean, I did take my old computer screen that I had to this computer. I gutted that out and I used that carcass as a light table. I created a light table slash projector out of it, which worked pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I use it for like what I do is like I'll have the image on a screen or something, right? And I'll take clear litmus paper or plastic wrap, whatever, and I'll put it up to her and I'll draw with a thin Sharpie marker, you know, the outline and stuff like that. Then what I do is I take it and I tape it to the front of the screen thing and then put my cell phone in this little slot with the light shining out, and the light casts the image onto the help me out here, the shit you paint on canvas. You know, it casts the image onto the canvas, and all I gotta do is trace it onto the canvas, and that's how I get started. And then I just paint, you know, within the, you know, the lines or whatever, you know. But yeah, that's a cool idea. If I had a pet, I probably would have done something like that. I can't have pets. You could convert them yourself and even sell them on. Yeah, that's too much bullshit for me. Yeah, not something I want to deal with. Besides, anybody in this area, they go to PetSmart and get all their shit anyway. Yeah, they like their brand new shit around here.
And there's already like areas in my new house to where I can put my pet stuff at. Cause like I said in that tour, the shelves that you see right by the living room area, I could have my cat food bowl, and my cat litter bowl in that area, or have that be a place for my cat's bed, because that area would be a great place for her.
Yeah, yeah. You, you're good. But uh, yeah, one of the flat screens I have downstairs, it's just the only reason it doesn't work is because the only problem is the screen is cracked, but it does power on and everything like that. You just can't see the screen because it's cracked or whatever. And it the other two are different sizes and different models, so I can't just simply replace the screen from one of those. But the other two, for some reason, they don't even power on at all. And being a new high tech type television, I wouldn't know. Now, if it was one of those old TVs, usually the first thing you look for if a TV doesn't turn on is the fuse. They have bus fuses in them, and that's usually the first thing to go on one of those types of TVs, those old TVs. And that's easy. You just get another fuse and replace the fuse, and boom, it's working again. New TVs these days like this, like it's like, yeah, I ain't fucking with that. There's no fuses, there's no tubes, there's nothing you could just unplug and plug one back into it to make it work. No, you gotta like hook it up to a freaking EKG machine, and like, it's ridiculous. So once they go, they're pretty much junk unless you know somebody who specializes in TV repair with newer TVs. But yeah, I think there's a 47-inch, 30-inch, and a 32-inch, I think, flat screen TV downstairs. That don't work. Ugh. So anyway, how you been doing, Fallen? I welcome to your live stream.
Huh?
We kind of took over.
Well, it's
Uh.
been cutting in and out on me, so I'm hearing the conversation.
Uh,
And I'm just
And-
like,
Yeah.
Not to mention, Fallen's pretty accustomed to anytime Boomer gets up on the panel, you pretty much got to kiss your live stream goodbye because Boomer's just
Yeah.
gonna like,
nah.
no, she knows how to cut Boomer off if she needs to. Like, shut the fuck up, Boomer. Okay.
Lord.
Oh man, what is it? It's got to be like almost 4 in the morning here. What is it? Oh shit, yeah. Oh my god, it's after 3:30. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
That's about 36 hours
Jeez.
of
Wow.
hanging
Yeah,
around.
been kind of doing a lot of Zoom in the last couple of days.
Oh yeah. Yep, did a 24-hour live stream from 5:30 Monday afternoon till 5:30 yesterday afternoon. With 4.5, 5 hour sleep in the middle of it. And then let's see, got up and just started going to other live stream, or yeah, I got up, finished my live stream at 5:30, and then right after that, an hour and a half after that, I'm over at Cap Sevens on his Sing Your Heart Out, and sat there for 2 hours singing. Don't know how I did as well as I did the way I was feeling, but apparently, according to everybody else's responses in there, I was doing pretty damn good. I was like, yeah, well, at this point, I'm kind of numb, so I don't even know how well I'm doing. But they all thought I sounded pretty good. I don't know if they mean you sound pretty good for somebody who's been up for 30 hours, or if they really mean, hey, you sound pretty good. But Yeah, I'm surprised I'm still uh mobile right now.
Yeah, I definitely know that feeling. It's almost like
Yeah.
your brain is fried. You can't really think,
Yeah,
but
Mhm.
your body is like you got to still stay up.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's pretty much what it was for me, falling, where I couldn't fall asleep Sunday night this week because of what of where I was at work earlier that day, because of me being super excited for the next day.
Right, right. Yep. Oh yeah. That'll keep somebody up more than anything is expectations of the next, like, you know something exciting is supposed to happen the next day, and you're like, all just full of um uh what's that chemical in our bodies that make us like super crazy and shit like that? That stuff that makes moms lift cars off their kids. What's that called? Adrenaline. Adrenaline.
Yeah, yeah, adrenaline.
Yeah, you get like this real like adrenaline high because like something good's happening the next day, and it just you're too excited to sleep. I've had those days.
Hmm.
It's like a kid at Christmas night. How many kids go right to bed and right to sleep on Christmas Eve? It's like you can't.
Well, we went
Cause you,
straight to bed, but we get up 3 o'clock in the morning wanting to open
Mm,
presents.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I never could though. Like I could never get to sleep when I was supposed to get to sleep, because I was just too excited, the anticipation and shit. I had DVD players and DVDs. Also.
Yeah, we would play possum like we were sleeping, but me and my
Yep.
sister stay up for a little bit and then
Oh yeah.
go to sleep and then wake up and we're like, time to wake up. Let's get going. Tear the presses open.
Right.
And then we'd
Right.
fall asleep trying to play like our games, or whatever we got. A lot of times we got little neat
Yeah.
little gadgets to play with. And
mhm.
um, the Christmas that we
Right.
got a Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You could not get me and my sister off of that thing. And we fought over it pretty bad because it was like a 2 player game.
Yep.
And like either one of us couldn't get a level and like would fuss at the other one, like, you can't get that level. What the heck?
Right. First game system we ever had was the first original Atari. I think that's the first one we ever had. Then there was the Nintendo and Super Nintendo and um what was the other one? The
N64 is the
Cube.
one.
The what? Oh yeah,
The
Commodore
N.
64. Right? The Commodore
Yeah.
64. Yeah. We had one of
Mhm.
those.
My dad,
And then there was the Cube, which didn't last long. That was like a quick phase.
yeah. My dad had the Atari and Commodore 64. And
Yep.
for some reason, when it comes to Commodore 64, I guess because it's so archaic in the way the music was,
Mhm.
it would freak me out.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I would barely play any games unless like my parents were out there.
Right.
And then we had the Super Nintendo
Yep.
and N64. The N64 is probably the one I played on the most.
Yeah.
Like it was nonstop, and that's where I got into a lot of the Zelda.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep.
Because
I mean,
Ocarina of Time was to me at the time, until Breath of the Wild came out, that was probably the best game they had out.
Oh yeah. Yep. It was.
The way the
I
mechanics
mean,
were and the storyline, it just fit really well, and a lot of people liked it.
yeah. Because I can remember when Zelda first came out in the arcade games, like that was like freaking awesome. Then all of a sudden, now you have a home system you can play it on. It was like hell yeah, I can sit at home and play it now.
Yep.
So yeah, I used to kick ass on some Zelda. Remember Cubert? You ever played that? Cubert?
Yeah.
A little crazy alien looking thing with the long nose
Yeah.
or whatever. The
Yeah,
pink
I
thing,
remember.
and
I
he
remember
hops
that.
on the blocks and shit.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Frogger,
Um.
Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, the original Mario Brothers game. Yeah.
I didn't play like the original Mario till later on in my kid years, but the Mario I remember playing was the N64 Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
uh, uh, and I also remember playing the first ever Mario Kart on the N64
Yeah.
and Diddy Kong Racing.
Yep. Yep. I remember those.
And on the Super Nintendo, the original Mario Kart.
That that's the other one I was trying to think of. The Sega Genesis. We had one of those.
The
Yeah.
Mario Kart on Super Nintendo had glitches, and my sister and I
Yeah.
hit every single one of those glitches.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was funny. Like me and her were laughing about it. And
Yeah.
I can't
You
remember what
ever
the glitches were now, but
you ever hit that one where your car is like suspended in the air and all you can do is like turn around and you can see the map below you? Everybody else is running around on the track and stuff. And I hit that one time. I was like, what the fuck is this? How do
yeah,
I end up in the air, in the sky? Like, and my cart is just like sitting there. All I can do is turn and I was like, what?
yep.
Yeah,
And
that
on
was crazy.
Rainbow Road, you could jump the track, and so you
Mm.
could be the last person. You jump the track, you could be the first person
Yep. Yep.
every single time. And I'm like,
Uh,
really?
yeah,
Come here,
take me,
sis.
fucker.
Yeah.
Right?
The Sega Genesis was another console that I owned as a kid. Where I remember playing Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yep.
which was
Sega.
before before Sega no longer produced the consoles, because the last
Yeah.
console I remember then Sega having was the Sega Dreamcast.
Yep. Yep. I remember those too. Yeah, that's when. Yeah, that's when Sonic Hedgehog was introduced, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Sega.
Yeah.
Frogger, Sonic, Crash
Mortal
Bandicoot,
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Yep. Crash Bandicoot. Bunch of those. I think first came out with the Sega. If I
Mhm.
remember right. Yeah.
Have you noticed how graphic Mortal Kombat has gotten?
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't
The
played it
very
in
first
years.
game.
But yeah, I haven't even seen it played recently.
I played Mortal Kombat 10
Ouch.
because I got it for free for being a PlayStation Plus
Right.
subscriber, and I played that. And yeah, I know what Fallen is about. The graphics are not only more deadly, but they're more in depth.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I remember Spyro too. That's another one I was trying to think of. Spyro. Yep. And Crash. Yep. So that pink cloud thing that scared all the kids. The pink cloud thing. Which one was that?
Oh, I don't know if it was on the Sega or if it was a different console. Banjo and Kazooie.
I don't remember that either. In a balloon. Huh. Uh, doesn't sound familiar at all. Really. Yeah, yeah. Damn. Y'all make me feel freaking old. Does anybody remember dial phones?
Yeah. Payphones. I remember those for
payphone.
sure.
We actually still have payphones in our area in certain places. Um,
Very rare to see them around though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I did a short little YouTube video one time because there is still one over by the out front of a convenience store around the block from me, and I went there and I'm filming on it, and I'm like, oh, they do exist, you know, kind of like the commercial, the M&M commercials and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
I love watching like TikToks where they give them challenges as to figuring out like the rotary phone, like get one of
Yeah.
those vintage ones and try to figure out how to use it. Or there's a TikTok thing going around where everybody that's being recorded, one of them is from the younger generation and some of them are from the older, and it explains that there is this big difference between the two generations.
Yeah.
One will never understand the cringiness of that sound of dial up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they are like, and the younger generation's like, what is that?
I know what you're talking about now. I remember Kirby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirby.
Oh, I loved Kirby.
But yeah, Ellen DeGeneres actually does that on her show every once in a while. She'll post it on the Twitter or whatever. She'll pick a young you know, millennial type out of the audience, have them come up, and she'll reveal like all these different things that we had in our childhood, and she'd have them try to figure out how it worked. A simple phone, like this one girl was like looking at it like it was something from outer space. Like, you know, it's like, what the fuck is it? You know, it's like, it's a good thing they didn't have a teletype there, or not teletype, but you know, the one they use Morse codes for.
Oh, like the
typewriter.
No. The when before phones existed, they had what they call it's a little box with a metal thing that they tap and use Morse code for. That was the name of those damn things again. I forget. It was the first invention of landline communication. And it was just a series of Morse code signals that they would send across the wire, and it would come out on a sheet of paper, and you'd have to decipher it, blah blah blah. What the hell is it called? Does anybody know?
No.
I should know. We used them in the frickin' military too.
telegram.
Yeah, telegraph.
Oh yeah, a telegram.
The telegraph. Yep, that's what it was. Yeah, I could just imagine if like one of them, if she had one of those on the table and they're like, you know, figure this out, and they'd be like,
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to decipher any of that. I mean,
yeah.
I know the difference between a dot and a dash,
Mhm.
but when you put them together, what's that supposed to be? Like, I kind of know SOS a little bit, but like anything else is kind of like way over my head.
It's called Morse code. SOS is just the simplest Morse code message, by the way. Yeah. SOS is short, long, short, or something like that, I think. I actually have somewhere. I downloaded a screen capture. I Googled Morse code, and if you Google Morse code, they actually have um the images of the they have it the alphabet done out in Morse code and the numbers done out in Morse code, and some of them have like a couple of common phrases um in Morse code that and it shows you everything you need to know about Morse code. Um, I can never remember stuff like that.
Once I can get a hold of something like that, like you done, the little bit of research to help decipher,
You know,
I'm gonna pull a prank on somebody
Hmm.
and just
Mm.
send messages just using dots and dashes.
Oh yeah. You can
Yeah.
also when we were kids, the old toy walkie-talkies that we used to have, they had a small little area on the bottom where they had the Morse code um label on there, so that like if you couldn't talk, you could just key up and tap the key up the dots and dashes and do Morse code over that too. So if you happen to be somewhere like Salvation Army or something, they look for those little toy walkie talkies because they have a label, Morse code label right at the bottom of those. Or you can just Google Morse code. And they come up with a bunch of images. For matter of fact, I could go ahead and do that. And show you what I was talking about. Morse code. Yeah, as a matter of fact, this is the one I was looking at. So yeah. American Morse code. This is it. Like this is the alphabet and the numbers one. Do you have screen share available for people? No. Host disabled participant screen share. Oh well.
Ah,
I'll send you the link though. To it.
okay.
Um,
I had it. I had it to where you could share. Hold on a second. I don't know why it's disabled on here.
images. Where's the
Okay, there
one
you
I
go.
had? It had a bunch of like
You
it
can
had the
try it
Morse.
now and
All
see
right,
if it
yeah,
works.
I want to find a better example of one. That
Okay.
or maybe they won't give me the better example one. I can't find it now, but there is a bunch of them on here that oh, here it is. Yeah, here it is. It has a bunch of common commands and stuff like that. With the alphabet and numbers and stuff. So international Morse code. That's the one. So let's see. All right, screen share, boom. Don't need sound. So this is it. Like you got the alphabet, your numbers. You have your uh um what are these symbols called again? The punctuation marks and shit like that. Um, it has different symbols on it. It has your most common phrases that you would need in conversation and stuff. The first one being SOS. Yeah, it's three dots, three dashes, three dots. That's SOS. And then you go like, says new line, new page, new paragraph. Now, see, this is not the one I saw before because this one takes you to a site where you can buy this. Simply, all you need to do is save image as. you know, like So I just saved this image, or I will. Let's see. Let's save it in my pictures. You know, boom. You can save it. You always have it right there. Boom.
Very cool.
So you always have a copy of the Morse code. Yeah. All you gotta do is Google Morse code, and there's like millions of different examples of it. They have one that's standard American Morse code, and this one that's an international Morse code. So yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be some people wondering what the hell am I doing?
Yeah,
Send
yeah.
some cryptic messages.
Anybody who didn't see the live stream will be wondering.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
get people. What the hell is this? What you? Are you okay?
because we used to use Morse code in the military, and I cannot remember a damn thing about it. You know, like we would use it on our walkies. We even had old device, like we even had it wasn't necessarily telegraph device, but it was like a combination of it looked more like a radio, but it was, we used it as a telegraph type thing to send Morse code messages. Crypted Morse code, that is a bitch. It's almost as difficult as one-time pad cryptic code messaging. But have you ever heard of that one? You really want to mess with somebody? Google one-time pad code code messaging. That's a tricky bitch for anybody to break. If you don't, it consists of, you have the message, you have the key, and what do they call it again? Here, let me look at that real quick. One-time pad. Keyword. What's it? Cipher. That's the word I was trying to look for. It consists of the cipher text. You have the plain text, which is the message. You have the key, and then you have the cipher text. That is tricky. Like if as long as you and the person you're communicating with are the only two people that have the key, nobody would ever be able to break the message. But yeah, Google that sometime. That is some interesting shit. It's the only code system so far that has been completely unbreakable. Because if you don't have all three elements, you'll never get it. I mean, you can have the cipher and the message, but without the key, you won't, like, or you know what I mean. But yeah, look into that. That's pretty interesting. That's the code system that they started using around the Cold War time. And it's really interesting to read about. I mean, I could do a one-time pad message to somebody, right? And like the key could be anything. As long as the key is as many characters or more than the message or the cipher or whatever, you'll be able to, you know. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm tired. I'm rambling now. So
I think everybody's getting a little tired. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah, it's 1 a.m. here in Arizona.
right, it's 3:30. 4 a.m. here then. Yeah, 4 a.m. here. But hey, if you want to mess around with that a little bit sometime, that'd be a cool thing to mess with somebody about. I could show you how to do one time. Like I got it memorized. I know how to do a one-time pad method.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Like for instance, here, let me type something in the chat. So for instance, if all right, if I type this, I'm using my acronym for an example. So I type that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So with that, they could figure out it's at least a 5-letter word, right? So let me think of a 5-letter word. Give me a 5-letter word. Right off the top of your head.
pizza.
P-I-Z-Z-A. Okay. Yep. That'll work. All right. So pizza is the message. Okay. MLKIR is the cipher. The thing is, now you need a key. Let's say the key is another 5-letter word that you randomly pick out of a book or magazine or something. Okay. Let's say you and your partner or whatever is using the daily crosswords in the newspaper. All right. Every day it'll be a new key, new cipher based on what you find in the crosswords, right? So let's say one of the crossword puzzle words is another 5-letter word, P-O-M, no, D-I-N-N, no, how can I not just think of a 5-letter word off the top of my head? Okay, Oreos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we'll use Oreos. Let's say one of the words in the crossword for that day's paper is Oreo or Oreos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so Oreos. All right, so all right, MLKIR is the cipher. And wait, I forgot my equal. Okay. All right. So MLKIR is a cipher. Oreos is the key. And pizza is the message. Okay. So MLKIR equals cipher. I don't even know if I spelled that right. Oreos is the key. Pizza is the message. So what you do is, and there's something called, I forget what they call it. What do they call that again? All right, there's something called a veritable. Veritable is the word. Okay, so the veritable is 26. Okay, because there's 26 letters in the alphabet, right? Each
Mhm.
letter of the alphabet stands for or a certain number, okay? But with the veritable, you're going from 0 to 25. Okay. That's your 26 letters of the alphabet. A equaling 0, D equaling 1, C equaling 2, and so on, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. All right. So A equals 0, B equals 1, C equals 2, et cetera, et cetera. So what you do is, all right, so M being the 13th letter, but in this scenario, it's the 12th. Correct? Am I right? I think.
Yeah.
And I equaling I is what? The 9th. In this case, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. 8. Okay. I equals 8. All right. So on and so on. Okay. So on and so on. So, oh, you've done it before, Amanda? It's pretty cool as shit, ain't it? So let's see. So what you do is, all right, MLKIR being the cipher to get the message, or to get the key. All right, here, easy way to explain it. The sender, okay, the sender must take the cipher. No, the sender takes the key and adds it to the message to, I did spell cipher wrong. It's spelled with a C, C-Y, to equal the cipher. Okay. I think I'm doing this right. So what you do is to get P. All right. So M is the first letter of the cipher, plus O is the first letter of the key, equals P, the first letter of the message. All right, I hit the wrong something. Okay, plus. Okay. All right. So M being 12, plus O, and O being what, 14, I think. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so equals, so 12 plus 14 equals 28, right? I don't think this is gonna come out right. Oh no, never mind. No, the message. I did it backwards. Dangnammit. All right.
And 26, not 28.
Well, oh yeah, 26. All right, so M equals 12 plus the message. That's what I need. Plus the message, the first letter in the message, which is P, which equals, must be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, which is 15, right? I think P is 15. All right, so, all right, 15. Anyway, so, equals, so you take the first letter of the key, add it to the first letter of the message, that gives you 27, right?
Yep.
Um, oh no, I kind of did it wrong in the beginning because I created a cipher before I. All right, so MLKIR isn't gonna work in this case with cipher. So it equals 27. 27 minus. Oh, why did I send that already? 27 minus 26 equals 1. And 1 equals B. So the first letter in your cipher, see, if I should have done it the other way with the cipher I had and whatever. Anyway, so the first letter in your cipher will be B. All right. The second letters, M, L, K. All right, so yeah, Oreos doesn't work for the cipher because that's what we have to make. We have to make the cipher. I forgot about that. So Oreos don't work with the cipher. So what we're doing now is we're adding the key to the message to create the cipher. So B is going to be the first letter of your cipher. So now the second letter, L, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, 6 or 11. Okay, so L equals 11 plus I, which equals 8 equals 19, and 19 is the, okay, 19, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Why am I doing this the hard way? 26, what's 26 minus 19? Or no, all right. Z, Y, X, W, all right, that's 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. T is the 19th letter in the alphabet. Okay, so T would be 19 would equal T. All right. So your second letter in the cipher would be T. So your cipher would start with B, T, and so on. All right. Now, for the guy receiving, the receiver of the message, who has to find the message, all they have to do is reverse the process. So what they do is they take the B, all right, B is 1, and they subtract M is what, 13? So they subtract 13 from 1, all right, which equals negative 12, right? Equals negative 12. So anything below 0, you add 26. So negative 12 plus 26, it's the same thing as 26 minus 12, which is 4. Wait, that's not coming out right. Shit, I did it wrong. Oh well, but you get the concept. Hey, it was a fun conversation, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
like basically you have your three your three components. The key, the message, the cipher. All right. So the sender takes the key and the message. They add those together to find the cipher. The receiver has the key and the cipher. All he has to do is subtract the key from the cipher to get the message. That's the basic, simple explanation.
Oh, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I'll type out a message. Type out a message to you sometime and see if you can figure it out.
Oh, hell.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't
um,
mind trying that.
But yeah, it was. I mean, it's a fun thing to do with your friends. A lot of people, they have like a lot of times they'll have like a set of keys that they have somewhere, and they take turns using a different key each time. Which isn't the most secured way to do the message system. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll take like I said, they'll take the key from, let's say, all right, just for the hell of it, because everybody's familiar with the Bible. All right, let's say they use the Bible as the key. All right, so if you wanted a 5-letter key, you could tell them, all right, the first letter in Joseph 16 or whatever. All right, so the first letter they come to in that, what do they call them again? What are the things in Bibles? What do they call it? Like the Joseph 16 or whatever?
Uh, like the books.
Yeah, the
The
different passages in the Bible are called. Come on, Amanda, you gotta know this one. Oh, what are they called? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Like Salem, Joseph,
all the books of the Bible.
yeah, the different passages in the Bible, the different, yeah,
Verses.
they're huh?
The different verses of the Bible.
Yeah, what are they called? Not verses, but all right, but you understand what I'm saying. All right, so let's say you have, they tell you, all right, we're all right, let me make it an easier example. Let me use a famous novel. Okay, let's say this would really work as a key system too, because there's 7 different books to it. Let's say you're Harry Potter fans. Okay, so you're gonna be, you'll use the Harry Potter books as your key, because they're all like worldwide. They're all standard, right? So let's say the first message you send to your friend, you guys each have a copy of all 7 Harry Potter books. So you tell them, all right, the first key is going to be the first letter. Let's say it's the five word message. The first letter of each paragraph in Harry Potter 1. Which one is it? The stone or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
So that's how you would do it. You would set up a system where each of you would have a set of the keys. And between you and them, keeping it a secret that your keys are going to be in the Harry Potter books. Let's say, all right, for the month of May, we're going to use the first book of Harry Potter for our key. The first day of the month, we're going to use the first what is it called again when books are broken down now?
Chapters.
Chapters. Thank you. So we're going to use the first chapter. The first letter of each paragraph in the first chapter is going to be the key. So no matter how long that chapter is, you could probably cover up to a 26 letter word, right? Or as far as you want to go in a message. You know, you could have a 50-word message if you want. Because you start with the first letter of the first paragraph, go to the first letter of the second paragraph, and so on. You know, you already have that preset up as your key. So what you would do is, you know, let's say the first letter in the first Harry Potter book of the first paragraph is, let's say it's A. I have no idea because I don't have the books. I only have the movies. So the first letter in the first paragraph of the first. Oh, are you serious right now? First letter of the first paragraph of the first
Chapter.
chapter. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm doing awful. First chapter is A. All right, that's your first key letter. So your next key letter will be the first letter. Let's say the first letter is G. The first letter of the second chapter, or first letter of the second paragraph of the first chapter is G. Okay. And then your second letter, let's just say the word, let's say the message is ass. I don't know. So let's say that letter is T. Let's say, and that would be the first letter of the third paragraph of the first chapter. Then the fourth letter would be the first letter of the fourth chapter. Let's say it's B. The fourth paragraph of the first chapter, right? All right, so there is your key. AGTB is your key. Now, if you're the sender, you're creating the message. So what you do is you write out the message along, under, or alongside. I wrote it from top to bottom, so I'm going alongside. So A equals A. G equals S. Oh, wait, I missed. There's not 3 S's in ass, is there? All right, let's change the message word. Let's say it's, let's say the message is also. So G would be L. T would be S. B would be O. Okay. So now you figure out, okay, 0 represents A. So 0 plus 0 is 0. That's easy. So the first letter in the message, or the first letter in the cipher, is going to be A. The next letter is, okay, G is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, G is the 6, would be 6 plus L, which is 11, and that equals 17. So the 17th letter using 0 as A. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Why am I doing it? Okay. So 0, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So 17 is K, right? I think I added it right. I don't know. And then T, represented by the number 19. S, represented by the number 18. You add those together. 19 plus 18 is 9 plus 8 is 17. Carried away. 37. All right. So 37 is higher, is too high for you. So the variable is 26. So you want to take 37 and minus 26. 7 minus 6 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. So that number is 11. 11 is L. B. B is 1. O is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. So the 17th letter is R. Okay, so your key is AGTB. Your message is ALSO. Your cipher is AKLR. So what you do, you have the message, right? All you simply do is send the cipher. That's all you have to do that's all you have to send to your partner is the cipher letters. Because he already knows that day, you know, because you'll date your message. Let's say it takes a couple days to get there. You want to make sure, you know, you date your message. Let's say it's 12, 20, 21. Okay. Whatever, you know. So they know on 12, 20, 21, you used the key you were supposed to use for that day in that particular book. Okay. So he takes the cipher and he writes out the cipher AKLR. He looks up the reference for the key, which is the first book of Harry Potter, starting with the first chapter, first letter of the first, you know, so on and so on. So he looks it up, he finds it, he says, oh, okay, so the first letter was A, the second letter was G, third letter was T, last letter was B. Now he does the opposite of what you did. He subtracts the key from the cipher. So he takes the cipher you gave him minus the key. So A minus A. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 represents A. K minus G. K is, what did I say K was again? J. K is 10. All right, so 10 minus G, which is 6. So 10 minus 6 is 4. Fourth letter in the alphabet. Wait, that didn't work out. Oh, I added something. 6 plus 11 is 17. How did I get K for 17? S is 18, T is 19, R is 17. Oh, that should be a R.
Mhm.
R is the 17th letter. That's how I screwed up.
And it's really easy to get,
So R.
it looks like.
Yeah. So R minus G. 17 minus 6 is 11. 11 is the 11th, or L is the 11th letter. Yeah, I just suck at simple math is what happened. All right. So your first two letters of the message he's getting is AL. And then you go to the next one, L minus T. L is the 11th letter minus T, which is the 19th letter. So that's -8, right? So 26 minus 8 is 14. Did I do that right this time?
26 minus 8.
26 minus 8 is 14, right?
18.
18. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 8 and 8. Okay. 18. Yeah. I suck at math in my head.
Hey, Beth.
So 18. All right. So am I doing this one right? We're on the third letter, which is supposed to be S. Yes, I did it right. Okay. S is the third letter. And then the last letter, okay, R, which is, what did I say R was again? 17. So R being 17 minus B, which is 1. So 17 minus 1 is 16. The 16th letter in the alphabet with the variable is O. So this is how it works out. All right. The one that's vertical, okay, that's the sender. The sender is taking, I'm backwards here. The sender is taking the key, adding it to the message that they come up with to get this, the cipher, okay? Now on the bottom is the receiver, the sendee. All right. So what he did, this is backwards. That sucks. So he takes the cipher at the top here that you send him. The only thing you send to your partner is the cipher, and he subtracts it from the key, or the cipher. He subtracts the key from the cipher to get the message also.
Very
And
cool.
that's one-time pad.
Yeah.
I mean, when you first look at it, it looked difficult as hell to me the first time. The most difficult part about it is obviously having Boomer trying to explain it to somebody. But
Mhm.
once you figure it out, once you find the system, once you remember the system, it's easy. Like you can send messages from one person to the other, secret messages, that nobody would have a clue. So if this message, all right, if I was sending this to a friend of mine in an envelope through the mail, all right, and somebody happened to intercept this, they're gonna sit there and be like, what the fuck is ARLR? What's it? Their immediate response is gonna be, is it an acronym for something? They'll sit there for half their life trying to figure out what it's an acronym for, okay? Because they don't know that's just the cipher, and the key is at the other end, and they don't know what the key is. The only people that know what the key is you and your partner. So the cipher makes it to your friend. He knows the date, okay? He says, oh, okay, so she wrote this out on December 20th, 2021, which hasn't arrived yet. So that I just threw a number out of my head. We haven't been there yet. How do I get a message from there? Oh, we use the time machine. Okay, anyway. So they're going to look at the date
Mhm.
that you put on there for the day that you wrote out the message or you wrote out the cipher. So that arrives to your partner. They go to the book. All right. They look at the day. Today's the first Harry Potter, first letter of each paragraph of the first chapter. Okay, easy enough. So your partner, he opens up the first Harry Potter, goes to the first chapter, looks at the first paragraph, the first letter, boom. Okay, there it is. Goes to the second paragraph, looks at the first letter, the second paragraph. Oh, okay, this is it. And so on. He just goes through each paragraph and taking the first letter out of each paragraph, writes it down, and all he has to do when he finds that key, subtract it from the cipher, and boom, he ends up with the message. And you can do that for as long of a message as you want. As
Wow.
long as the message has, or as long as the key has as many or more digits or whatever they call them as the message, the ending message, they'll be able to figure it out.
Very cool.
How do you know we
Mm.
haven't been there yet? Beth, because I haven't received my gift from you yet. That's how.
This totally reminds me of the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
It actually makes more sense. The movie and the book make more sense now, learning to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
It really
Now,
does.
the interesting thing is how I came across this. I happened to stumble upon a cold case in Australia called the Somerton Man case. Back in 1948, December of 1948, a man was found dead on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia, leaning up against the retainer walls. Okay. He had no ID on him or anything. He was wearing clothes that apparently looked like he had stolen from somebody else with tags removed and stuff. And they found something in a fob pocket. You know what a fob pocket is? It's one like the little kind of hidden tiny pockets they have in like dress clothes or even in your jeans. You know that tiny little change pocket that's in one of your pockets in your jeans? It's called a
Yeah.
fob pocket. Well, he had one sewn into the trousers he was wearing. All right. In the fob pocket, they found a small piece of paper that had been ripped out of a book or something that had nothing on it but the words Tamim Shud. Now, in that language, which I forget what the name of the language is again, Tamim Shud means to the end or something to that effect, right? Well, they found this paper, they didn't know where it went, blah, blah, blah. Months later, someone comes to the police station with this poetry book. It's called the Omar Kamen Book of Poetry. That was written originally back in the early, I think 16th or 17th century or whatever, which had been revised by this author, and I keep forgetting his name as well, into an English version, whatever. But what it is, it's a book of poetry consisting of 4 quadrant type entries. In the back of that book, on the very last page, there was a little area where a piece had been ripped out. And they fit that to that book to identify this piece of paper came from this book. Well, on the back of the book, on the last page of the book, there was indentations on it. So they used the pencil method, scrubbed it because they didn't have a lot of technology in the early 1900s. So they used the pencil message to bring out the raised or, impressed images. And it turned out to be 5 lines of various numbers of letters that didn't make sense. So they assumed that, through all the speculations, everything as to what it could be, they finally landed on the consensus that it was a one-time pad coded message. Now, at the time, they believed that that was the cipher they had. All right. And the fact that, which I don't now, after investigating this myself for the last 6-7 years, I don't think that the key is in the Omar Cayman book. I think it would just how happens that he had that book when he was writing it out, on the back of the book, because it was the smoothest place where he could write. Because the cover of the book is very rough and stuff like that. So I'm imagining myself sitting in the back of somebody's car or whatever, and getting the cipher message from whoever they're getting it from. And what I would do is I'd open the book to the smoothest place on a piece of paper in the book. I'd write down these letters, and all the letters were in caps, which is a good indication that once they all decided that it couldn't have been acronyms, because they ran it through these programs and stuff over the last 50-60 years or however long it's been. They ran it through these programs that decipher acronyms and things like that, and they couldn't come up with any such thing that made sense. So they rested on the idea that it was a one-time pad, either the key or most likely the cipher, because he could either have been writing out the cipher for himself to compare it to the key to write it out, and all he ended up getting out was or he could have been in the middle of being the one writing the message, having the key somewhere else next to him, looking at the key, and he's got the key, the message, next to him, and he's doing the whole adding this and adding that thing. So he's in the book writing it down, the cipher. So wherever the key was and wherever the message was never found. The only thing they found was the writing in the book, which I have since determined it has to be the cipher. I've been all through there's website versions of all the Omar Cayman series. I've been through all 7 editions and I printed out 2 full. One of them was 101 quadrant version edition. The other one was a 72 quadrant edition. Okay, and the other 4 or 5 are so similar to the first 2 anyway, I didn't bother. But I printed out the 2, the 101 and the 72 quadrant one, and compared it all, went through it all. I was like, there's no way in hell that this book could be the key, because I've tried every kind of message that made every type of method that made sense. Like I demonstrated here, I started out using, all right, maybe it's the first letter in each quadrant. All right, I did that. The first letter in each quadrant for the first chapter, and then I did it for the second chapter, and so on, all the way up to doing the last letter of each. I spent 3 years straight trying to solve this thing. I haven't really done much with it since 2016. I started on it in 2012, and all the way up to about 2015, 2016, I was constantly, almost every day, I was going frantic about it. I have stuff, like a lot of this stuff in this book, I can't even pull it out. But I have things this thick of like printouts and information and all that of it. The whole story of the Somerton Man, two different versions of the Omar Kamen book printed out. And I was doing it for and there was no way in hell that the Omar Kamen book was the key. So now I'm at a dead standstill where, all right, I'm convinced that the letters that were written in the book, and I'm convinced that all 5 lines exist, whereas because the second line, there's kind of a line going through. I believe it's an underline, as to say, you know how like people underline a certain word or message to indicate that it's a very important message or whatever.
Right.
They thought when they first investigated, they were thinking he made a mistake and was trying to cross out the letter, but it doesn't, like, none of the letters are struck through the center of them. The first letter, the line goes through about, so far up the first letter, but the rest of them are all like, it looks like he's trying to underline. Because their reasoning was because the third line resembled the second line so much, but there was more letters in it. I wish I had the paper up here. I know there was some downstairs, but I can't remember what all the letters were. But the first line was 6 letters, I think. No, the first line was a series of 8 letters. The second line, the one that I think was underlined, not crossed out, was a series of 6 letters. The third line was a series of 9 letters, and the last 2, I believe, were both a series of 11 letters. So there was 5 lines, all with a different number of letters. So it was a message that consists of at least 5 words. Now, when I was looking at it, it looked like a couple of the lines, some of the letters are spaced out further than what they usually would be if you're just writing letters out. Like they deliberately made a wider space. So in the first line, there's 2 letters, then a little bit wider space, and then the last few letters. Or it could have been broken up into 3 words. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it looked like to me. So it looked like a whole message written out of at least 5 words. But I believe, because especially with the bottom 2, there's so many letters in them. Actually, I think there were 13. But there's so many letters in the last 2 lines. I believe that is actually a series of several words. Because the way it looked like some of them were broken up. So I think it's at least a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it's at least an 11-word message that he was trying to send to somebody. Most likely Boxel, who had something going with a lady that they had both at different points in time met, which had both at different points in time received one of those books from this particular woman. So the book is kind of like the key of the whole story. There's a connection because the woman in question years ago gave one of those Omar Kamen books to the guy named Boxel. Now, when they went to interview, because they researched to see who had any of these books, they came across this Boxel fella. They had him show him his edition of the book, and in that book was a lady's name named Jesslyn or Justin or something like that, with a phone number. Oh, look at that! Beth is on it. What did you do? Google it. Those are those are the lines. Yep. So it wasn't the second line that was similar. I guess it was the third. Yeah, the third line. That's where they thought maybe that was a mistake. But I think if you take MLIAOI, which is 6 letters, okay, how many letters are in the name Jestin? JESTIN. Oh no, Y. TYN. Jestin was the name she signed in Boxall's book. That was the line, that was the line that was underlined, giving me the impression that that's the most important part. Like, that's a very important part of the message. He took the time to underline the 6 letters, and which would mean, like, if you're writing out a message to somebody and you're writing out a name of somebody you want them to, that's important, you're going to underline the name. So Justin, underline, to give a sign of importance to it, right?
Right.
But yeah, so Beth is actually typing out all that. I got bored out here. Awesome, Beth. Awesome.
Well,
But yeah,
well,
those were the letters in the message, which I believe is the cipher.
Oh wow.
wow.
We ought to do that sometime. If you guys want to, like, we can pass messages,
Yeah.
back and forth to each other using this system. It'd be fun. We just have
Yeah.
to pick like a standard something all of us have. Like, you two probably have Bibles, but I don't, so we can't use that. I don't know, like, if you guys both have like certain book we all might have. I've got a few novels here. I don't know if you guys read a lot, but we can figure out something that's a standard key for us and do that. I think it sounds like fun. What do you think, Angel? Sound like fun?
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Hell yeah. Sounds like fun. Beth, you want to get in on this? But yeah, we'll
I think
figure
Beth
out.
would be like,
And she'd
what?
be like, huh? What?
But yeah, I've always, ever
Is
since
it-
the Da Vinci Code came out,
I can imagine I'm sending her I'm sending her a cipher, and she opens it up and she's like, what the fuck? Did Boomer have another stroke or what?
ever since the Da Vinci Code came out, and there was like these
Yeah, I love that.
like deep cryptic stuff.
Right. Did
I
you see,
always,
real
well,
quick, did you
yeah.
also see the second one, Angels and Demons?
I saw parts of it, but I
You gotta check that one out too.
all right.
Just to let you
Definitely
know.
gonna do that.
But yeah, Da Vinci Code.
And it's so weird though, like in the Da Vinci Code, that the people that were investigating are smart enough to know enough about the person to go into so deep into thought and to think the way that these cryptic messages were coming out, to be able to figure out how to save the whatever it was. And it's like, huh.
Well, the idea was like, in the Da Vinci Code, the whole idea behind that one is that the Holy Grail isn't represented by a goblet like everybody's led to believe.
Right.
The Holy Grail, it turns out at the end, the Holy Grail is actually the woman, a descendant of the original Holy Grail, which was a woman who had relations with Jesus Christ. Which in the painting that they did of the Last Supper, you notice there's like this shape in between two Jesus and the other guy next to him or whatever, where they believe originally a woman was standing there and they had painted her out of the picture.
Right.
Yeah, that's some twisted shit. Like that takes some fucking imagination.
It really does.
Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
why I loved that movie. Like they were thinking along the same lines as I was. I was like, damn, I could have made this fucking movie. It's so spot on to how I, think and stuff like that. But they went a little deeper than I probably could have at that time. But
Right.
after seeing it, now I'm getting into like my mind will go very, very deep into shit now after seeing that movie. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
It really was an eye opener, and it did open up
You know?
a lot of discussions. Starting out then about making the arguments and discussions. Well,
Yep.
if you really look at a copy of The Last Supper or whatever, you can tell that it was replicated,
Right, right.
but it was exact replica of the original. So it's like maybe they were leading
Yeah.
down that way. Maybe Da Vinci,
Yeah.
when they made this, he probably thought that way, so he left little breadcrumbs.
Right, right. I
To
mean, that's very
hit that way.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah,
That movie literally like split conspiracy wide open.
yeah,
Once that movie came out,
Mm.
like all types of conspiracy came out like a floodgate. But yeah. Beth, actually, in response to your comment that you can't do the strikeout, I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it, but I actually believe that it's not a strikeout on that. Because if you look at the original image that they posted up, to me, it looks more like they were trying to underline. Because you know how, like, if you're writing on a piece of paper on another substance, like a book or something, as you're writing, that paper is going to shift and move and all kinds of stuff. Like, so an impression that's raised up by rubbing it with a pencil or something, it's going to be a little distorted. So this is my thinking. The first thing I thought of is, why is the second line so close to the first line when the other lines seem to be like evenly spaced out from line to line? The first thought I came to was, okay, as he was writing, he wrote the first line. Maybe the paper shifted up or down, and he wrote the second line and went to underline the second line. But on the impression behind the original thing he was writing, which was never found, because it was just an impression that they had raised with graphite, it would turn out that it would look that way. You know what I mean? Because have you ever written on a pad of paper and if the first page is loose and it shifts on you, and then you remove that piece of paper and you go to see the impression in the back, like, you could have letters overlapping, exclamation points and stuff in the wrong place and stuff like that, which could make things very misleading, because it's almost like making a copy of a copy. It's not going to look right. So when you raise that and then you take a photograph of it, the original piece of paper that the guy was writing on was never found. What was in the back of the book was an impression. The book that was found in the car, not Boxall's book. The book that was found in the car that somebody had reported to the police station 4 months later, after the guy was buried. It was an impression that they took and rubbed crayon or graphite or something on it to bring up the impressions, and then they photographed that. Yes, sir. What's up?
Sorry to interrupt, but it's 2 a.m. here in Arizona.
Oh shit! That means
and
it's 6 here, 5 here. Wow.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed.
Hey, bro. Thanks for hanging, man. Oh wait, this isn't my live stream. What am I doing? Fallen.
Good night, Fallen. or good
Gonna
morning,
well, always
whatever.
see you. Thank you for being here.
I enjoyed being up here.
Yeah, it was good talking to you again, bro.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I've just been busy with life, but everything that's happened since the beginning of the
Yeah.
year has just been exciting. And this has been the best year so far that I've ever
Oh,
had.
I'm happy for you, bro. And I love your new place. It's awesome. I hope to someday be able to come down there and visit you.
I would love that.
We can go paint the
That
town red, bruh.
that would be a dream come true.
Kick back a couple of
Yeah.
old what do you call them? Back in the day, what they call root beer back in the day again? Sarsaparilla. That's the word.
Oh, sarsaparilla.
Yeah. We can
Ah.
kick back some sarsaparillas and paint the town red, brother.
Yeah, I would love that.
All right,
Yeah, I know
bro.
you're just
That-
joking.
yeah, that'd be
Oh,
awesome.
well,
someday.
good night, everyone. Bye.
All right, bro. I think I have already LOL. I have had shucks, so I'd understand it. You probably would.
Yeah,
Seriously.
somehow we would need to all get together and kind of plot and plan this.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Like we'd have for a key. I mean, we could always just come up with a simple keypad for us to do.
Right.
Like we could sit in a private stream and say, all right, so for the first day of the month, we'll use this set of letters for the key or whatever, or if we all have like a certain book or novel or whatever common to each other, we could do it that way. So we'll figure out something. I think it'd be fun to do. We'd be sitting here typing or sending Twitter messages. We could do it. We can make them tweet. That would really fuck everybody up.
Yeah.
Could you imagine getting on there and seeing a tweet of just a bunch of random letters and shit like that, and people are like, "What are these acronyms?" Or did Boomer have another stroke?
That'd be like, what in the
That
hell?
would be fun.
What have you ate lately?
Yeah, right. I think we ought to do that. We need to do it. That would be fun as shit. Because
Yeah.
if we were like sending tweets to back and forth to each other, like if you get on Twitter and you see Boomer had tweeted this fucked up looking message, you'd know right off, oh, okay, that message is for me in code. And you'd figure out the code and then send me back another cipher that, that'd be cool. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, would mess with a lot of people that way.
Oh yeah. We could sit here and talk behind people's backs right in front of their face. Like we could talk all day about Beth and she would never know what the fuck we were saying.
And you're right, it's a good brain exercise. It gives
Yeah.
you some thought and gives you and you got to learn patience when you're doing this.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the hardest part for me, because I have such a rotten memory due to other medical things and stuff like that. The hardest part for me is going to be like remembering what letter. I have a couple of them memorized. Like L, I know is 11 because I use. All right, there's an L in the word 11. Okay, so L is 11. G is 6. I know that because G takes a similar shape as 6. And if I could get the basic ones that I can remember, like I know T is 19. So from 19, if I've got an S, all I gotta do is count backwards. S is 18. What comes before 18? 17. What comes before S? R. That's how I have to remember it. Because I can't remember it like A through Z, 1 through 26 like that. So
Right.
that's the hardest part that's gonna to do. So you have to remember the letter to number ratio. You know what I'm saying? Starting with 0. That's the toughest thing to remember. Starting with 0. That's why there's Beth. That's why I said 6. Because we're using a, what was the word again you said? Veritable. We have to use, when we're doing one-time pad, there is a veritable of 26. So A would have to be 0, B 1, and so on. So G is 6 because of the veritable. Because if you're adding them together and you end up with a number greater than 26, which normally in the alphabet is Z, but if it's greater than 26, you have to subtract 26 from that and use the number representing the letter you get in that sum. That's the trickiest part to remember and have to keep remembering. But then G is 6. You're starting with 0, so you're virtually subtracting 1 from whatever number it originally represents. You gotta subtract 1, not add 1, because you're starting at 0.
My dad
Gotta
one
remember
time
that.
gave me a challenge, and he was trying to teach me binary code.
Oh wow, yeah, binary code. Oh my god, I just spend my whole life trying to figure that out and never will.
All it is every letter is represented by a series of
Ones
zeros
and zeros.
only.
Yep.
That's hard to do.
Yep. I mean, I know a certain series of ones and zeros. Let's say you got 5 zeros, 1 1, 2 zeros, 3 1s. Like, I understand that series of numbers represents one specific letter or phrase or command or whatever. That's as far as I can go with it. That's as much as I can retain of that. Beyond that, it's like, huh?
Yeah, like my dad had showed me the entire alphabet all in binary code.
Wow.
And see,
And
he's electronic engineer. He did
right.
ones and zeros all the freaking time. And like he can
Exactly.
decipher that stuff. And I'm like,
Right. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, that's
this
like
is
1,000 times harder than trying to figure out Morse code.
for sure.
Yeah. If I can't remember Morse code after using it for 3.5 years in the military, I'll never be able to remember binary. Fuck that. I won't even try. Am I gonna need it when I cross over to the next plane? No. You know, is Peter gonna say, "Hey, what's the binary code for you're a fucking asshole"? I don't know. Oh, the hell you go. Is that what's gonna happen? Nope.
To deal with electronics or make it do what you want it to. For some reason, I'm thinking that, like, if you hear about electronics just out of the blue start typing out different different letters and
Random
stuff.
letters and stuff.
Yeah. I would think that those are people knew some binary code to start typing that stuff out.
Right.
I just, for some reason, I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
Like, see,
Yeah.
if my dad was on the other side, he would probably, just to mess with me, write everything or say just zeros and ones
Right.
in binary code just to mess with me. I can see my dad doing that.
Yeah.
And Beth's like, my brother written programs in binary, he can have it.
Right. Oh, I'm saying I was never, ever very good at like if I can turn a computer on and make it do what I want it to do, I've accomplished something. But any deeper than that, it's not happening.
And me, I'm good at researching. I'm good with
Oh yeah.
troubleshooting to a point. Like if it's beyond my capability, I research to just try to figure it out to where
Right.
I have a better understanding. And software, like I can learn to fudge if there's like system requirements for something.
Yeah.
I can go in, figure out what my system has to be able to, and hopefully be able to fix it to where it's capable to have that software.
Right. Yep.
American Standards Institute for Information Interchange.
Huh?
Oh,
Sorry, my dad's talking to me too.
Oh, that's fine. I'm trying to do something here real quick anyway, so I'm not ignoring you, but I'm still.
Oh, you're good.
all the numbers and letters of the alphabet capital and small letters and symbols are represented by 8 bits
Foxy kitties.
and a standard. So good text.
Oh, wow. See, my dad's done blowing my mind again.
ASCII code.
Yeah.
ASCII code? Damn. Your head's full of codes, ain't it?
Maybe he'd be a fun one to bring into this one-time pad code messaging thing.
Yeah.
Numbers go from 0 to 15 or 0 to F with 4 bits. It's like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dang, you getting all in that electronic stuff, ain't you?
Get up to 9, and then they start with A, B, C, D, E, F, and that's 4 bits.
What the hell's wrong with this friggin'
Okay.
pen?
That's talking about
Yeah.
bits.
I
letter-
am not. Yeah. I'm not even competing with that. I'm not even gonna try to understand that one.
What do you say it was? Hexa.
Couldn't hear him. He wouldn't talk about it.
I think he's doing that because he knows I'm on the live stream. He don't like really talking in front of people much.
Yeah. I don't either.
Hexadecimal something or another.
That was 11.
And then he was talking about a code that goes up to 15. And then you got the numbers 0 through 9, and then it starts into the A, B, C, D, all the way to F.
Right.
That's why I said, damn, you're just full of codes, ain't you?
Right.
Yeah, he was in the military for a little bit, got out and went to work in college at the same time. He stayed in college for a good bit.
Oh, that's cool.
2 degrees.
Yeah, he's got two different, both of them associates, I think, degrees, mechanical and electronic engineering, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
This shit's
He's
giving me a freaking headache now. I'm like,
Sorry.
like, no, not you. This, what I'm doing here, trying to write out and keep the figures in my head, is really starting to test my cranial skills. I'm actually having to write out the alphabet now. And then number it 0 to 25 to figure out which letter means which number. Like, oh, my brain is not working today. I think I went from 3/4 ability to like somewhere just below half brain operating.
And then that was explaining like each part to the code is like 4 bits. And all of a sudden, I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
You may have to re explain it to me when I've had some sleep.
Right.
Ask the American Standard Code for information interchange. You gotta ask it all the time. Not too many people know.
What's it called? ASCII?
What?
American Standard Code for information interchange.
American Standard
Code
Code
for
for Information Interchange. ASCII. Okay, gotcha.
ASCII. I've heard of it. I don't think we ever used it. I never used it myself, I don't think. Not that I can recall. But I have heard of the term.
When you did that in the army.
You done that in the Army?
Maybe.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, Dad said he learned that in the military. But
Yeah,
that was a
the-
way long time ago.
The unfortunate part for me is that, you know, because of my massive head traumas over the years, the fact that I was killed and came back due to a massive head trauma and 4 strokes over the course of a year and a half, my memory is not what it used to be. I barely remember anything I did in the service. Just key highlights is pretty much what I remember, you know?
Right.
So, like anything specific or technical, all that information has been like almost totally wiped out.
Wow.
Half my childhood I can't remember. I'm lucky I can remember one incident a year during my childhood, unless it was very traumatic, like getting bit by an invisible dog. I do remember that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm lucky I can remember my name sometimes.
hell, that's with me. Somebody will, like, when I'm on stream or I'm in some place, like I'm on a panel and I hear falling, sometimes
Right.
I'm, who are you talking to?
Wait, what's my name again?
And then sometimes I'm so used to being called Fallen, my real name,
Right,
I don't acknowledge that. Then
right.
people are like, "What's wrong with you?"
You know,
Uh,
I knew your real first name at one time. For some reason, I started calling you Paula out of the blue for some reason.
Hmm.
I don't know why. But your first name isn't Paula, correct?
Right.
Because I think you brought that to my attention one day. And I was like, I was referring to you as Paula. It was like, did you call me Paula? And I had to think about it again. I was like, you know what? I did. And I think I was thinking of Witch's Cauldron when I said Paula, because I believe that's her name, right? You know, Witch's Cauldron? I think her name's Paula. And I think that's where
Yep.
I got Paula from. And I just started calling you Paula for some reason. I don't know. That's no use.
I get mixed up with people's names, and sometimes I'm thinking one thing and I say something totally different. I'm like, why did I freaking say
Right.
that? I know it's wrong. Why did it come out that way?
Right.
But yeah, it's so interesting. Like now I'm kind of like geared towards wanting to do research now. And looking up different like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, codes and stuff. And Bess in here talking about the hexadecimal.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, I'm trying to do something over here. You're just confusing me, Beth.
Oh, I said hi to her twice here. Yeah. And see, the thing is, I have issues with my internet. I'm surprised based on the last few days that my internet's holding up for this long.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
been
now that you
it's
mention it, I hadn't even realized it till now. Now that you mention it, this shit's been, you've been going pretty good with this, with just a few little hiccups, you know, the
yeah,
audio just briefly though. Oh, that's pretty good. It was a pretty good live stream. Held up fairly well.
yeah. And like I have to do this where all you can see of me is just my name on the screen. Like if I try to put my video on,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna start cutting out, and then like my limit will be an hour because it's cutting out.
Oh, yeah.
But being on just the audio for me has helped. It helps
Right.
out a lot. And being on people's panels, I don't know why, but it keeps hanging up. But this is also during the day too. And a lot of
Right.
this is the perfect time to get on the computer. So because there's not much actual internet traffic going on. So
Right.
I guess I picked the right time. Now some nights it will completely mess up and not want to do anything. Like I try to even connect to Zoom, period, just to see if I can get in there, and it won't let me
Right.
in.
Oh,
So confusing boomer is fun.
geez. 7 + 8. What's 7 + 8? 15, right?
Yep.
7. Okay, 15. All right, I'm gonna type a message in here, Beth. I want to see if you can decipher it. All right, I'm gonna type. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you first the cipher. I'm gonna give you the cipher. Then I'm gonna give you the key, and I want to see if you could figure out what it says. All right. So first thing is the cipher.
Yeah, you're right, Beth. Traffic jam's about to start up again.
Uh-oh. It would help if I was on the typing part. That's a technical word for where you type into the chat is the typing part, okay? Just so y'all know. Technical term for it is typing part. Okay. There's the cipher, Beth. Now I'm gonna type you the key. Okay. The first one's the cipher, Beth. The second one is the key. You have to figure out the message. I bet you Fallen can figure it out. If she remembers what I said earlier.
That's the problem. My brain's about fried.
Okay, all you gotta remember is the sender adds, the receiver subtract. If you remember that one key point, you'll be able to figure it out, the message having the key and the cipher. Oh my God, that Pepsi's like 90 fucking degrees.
Ooh.
I gotta go downstairs, get a fresh one. I'll be right back. No,
Okey
that's
doke.
not the message, Beth. Sorry.
I guess this is our little assignment. Okay. One thing he said was you take the key from the cipher and you get, yeah, you take the key from the cipher and get the message. Okay, basically what we were talking about.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking what I might end up having to do is move all my shit downstairs in the living room where it's 30 degrees cooler. Oh,
Cool.
I dropped you. Ugh.
Okay, the A represents 0,
Yes.
and you go down the line until you get to 26. That's what you're using to, with the key and the cipher, to get the
Sure.
message.
Actually, Z, yeah, A is 0, Z is 25. The number 26 is the variable. So any sum you end up getting that is above 26 or 26 or above, you need to subtract 26. So if the two, let's say you're adding V and F, okay? F is 5, V is 21, which comes to exactly 26. So you're 26 or higher, you need to subtract 26, which gives you 0, which 0 equals A. Get it? Anything below 0, you add 26. That's for when, all right, for the receiver, when they're subtracting the key from the cipher, let's say the key is 1, the cipher is 3, you have to subtract 3 from 1, you end up with -2, right? So you have to take -2, add that to 26, which essentially you're just subtracting 2 from 26, which gives you 24. 24 equals Y. So that letter would be Y. I don't know. But yeah, that's how it works. Did you follow that? I still get FU boomer, LOL. I give up on you, Beth. I give up. H equals 7. Yes. A equals 0. Correct. So H minus 7 equals, or yeah, H minus A equals, what's 7 minus 0?
7.
7, right.
So it makes it an 8.
So it makes it H, right. So the first letter in the message is H. You figure it out yet? The message, I mean. Or are you still working on it?
Still working
Oh,
on it.
okay. So just remember, like if you're writing it out, it's easy to write it out like you would a math equation. You want to take, since you're subtracting the key from the cipher, write the cipher out above the key like you would a math equation. Like, you know, if the cipher number was 1, 2, 3, 4, and the key number was 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you put them right over each other, just like you would a math equation. 4 minus 4 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 0, 0. So the message is,
I think I got the message.
okay. What do you think it is? Because I don't think Beth is even trying to guess.
The message is hello, Beth.
Yes, she got it. There you go. That's one-time pad messaging. Just like that. That was a
That-
very simplified version, but yeah.
Yeah, that key was very simple. It did
Yeah.
make things a little bit easier.
Yeah. Well, I made the key very easy. Just went A through I just to simplify it. So
Right.
it'd be easy, you know. Because no matter what the key is, depending on the message, the cipher is always going to be different. For instance, let's take the same message. Hello, Beth. Let's change the key to, let's eliminate the A, back them all up, and make the key from B to J. Okay. That will give you a whole different outcome in the cipher. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's say somebody did get a hold of your key, but don't have the cipher. All right. All they can determine from the key is the number of letters in the message. Okay. They can sit there and guess all day. They can go through random letters and come up with 50 million different messages in the message, you know, hello. Depending on what letters you're using for the key, it could give you a different message. So let's take hello and add a key that ends up with the cipher B, C, D, N, R. Okay. That cipher, if somebody found, if somebody found that key B, or found that cipher B, C, D, N, R, it isn't necessarily going to turn out to be the word hello, depending on what key letters they're trying to guess. They can spend their whole life trying to guess what the key is. Because, for instance, if the cipher was B, C, D, N, R, and the key was A, B, C, D, E, you're going to get a whole different word other than hello, if it does turn out to be a word, you know. So that was the main purpose as to why one-time pad was created back during the Cold War. It was the hardest to crack because no matter what you do, you can guess, speculate, or whatever. The only thing I am sure about is of the one that I discovered that she typed out. The only thing I'm absolutely positive about is that the 6-letter word does belong there, and it does spell out Justin, and they tried to underline it, giving specific importance to the word Justin because it was the woman's name. That I am 100% sure on. Just can't prove it.
It's like I have an Excedrin headache now. But yeah, this fascinates me, and it makes me want to get more involved in
code breaking and ciphers and
I think I might do something special with my channel.
Oh, getting ideas from it, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting ideas now.
Go. There you go.
And yeah, might be a nice little surprise for whomever cracks it.
You're gonna come up with okay.
I'm gonna have a message, and whoever gets it right, there's gonna be something special for them.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what are you gonna provide? The key or the cipher?
The key is gonna be within the channel. So
okay. The key is gonna be something within your channel.
Yes.
And you're gonna expose the cipher. So we'll have the cipher, but we have to figure out what the key is, right?
Right.
To get the message. Okay. I'll bet you I'll break it like that. But yeah, that's cool. I'd join in that fun. What's the prize gonna be? Cash or gift? What's the prize? Cash or gift?
I haven't really decided yet. I know I done a giveaway on my D-Live channel one time, and Beth actually got a free piece of my merch t-shirt from. So she still has it.
Oh,
I think.
yeah, I forgot you actually have merch out there too. So,
actually,
yeah, you could use
all that down right
as
now, and I'm gonna revamp, and I'm gonna
right
make my own store.
right.
So definitely gonna all that stuff was like.
Just remember one thing: when your channel just like soars out above the, you know, and you become so successful because of this little idea of yours, don't forget to mention, hey, Boomer gave me this idea. But yeah, that's an awesome idea, and I hope nobody steals it from you because I think it'll be a fun ass thing, you know. Kind of like a game, like a clue game in real life. Only we got to guess what the clue is. Usually you get the clue to solve the mystery. We have to guess what the clue is to get the message. Yes, definitely do that. And let me know when you plan on, doing your first live of it. Is it going to be on your YouTube or your D-Live?
This is gonna be on YouTube.
Okay. All right. You'll definitely have to let me know then, like when you're gonna premiere or not premiere. That's wrong. When you're gonna what's the word when it's the first time you've ever done something?
Debut.
Debut, yeah. When you debut this, you're gonna have to let me know because I want to be like right there in the front row of the audience, okay? Because I gotta see this, and I'll guarantee you, I'll be the first one to break it.
And Nero Trigger up in the house. Hello,
Along with-
Nero.
Along with RC Arts, what's up? Holy shit! Is it really that late in the morning or 4:50? Oh my god! You always know when it's either like real late or very early in the morning for you. Like you know when you've been up too damn late when you're on a live stream and see RC Arts coming in. You know you done like, oh wait, you gotta look out the window. Oh shit, the sun is up. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's when you know you've been up too fucking long.
It's almost 6 here. I'm like, wait a second.
Yep. 5:42 in the AM. Yep. You see RC Arts in your live stream, you done know you're either up way early or you're up way late. That's right, Nero. It is, ain't it, brah?
How is everybody? What kind of fish are those in Boomer's aquarium?
Wait, what kind of fish are those in Boomer's aquarium? What the hell are you talking about? Rooster has been crowing here. Oh, he's referring to the blue screen on my TV. I'll guarantee you that's what he's referring to. It does kind of look like an aquarium over there, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I should do that. I should create a screensaver on it that's fishes swimming around. I don't know if I can do that on it.
It was still okay to look
Screensaver. I don't know. That'd be cool though. All right.
I'm trying to maintain a sleep schedule.
Oh damn, Nero. Wow. Yeah.
Isn't that beside the TV?
What's that? Isn't
That's what
that
RC
an
is saying.
aquarium beside the aquarium? Oh no, that's actually just a glass case filled with liquor and wine and spirit bottles and beer. That's what he was talking about. Yeah. It's only an aquarium if it has water and fish in it. Anything else, it's an agrarium or yeah, agrarium is what they're called if it's anything other than water and fish, right? Yeah. Well, right now it is a empty liquor, spirits, beer bottle holder. Those are all the beer bottles that used to be up on the top of my shelf here, but I damn near killed myself. When I went to move the shelf, it started to fall apart. And all those liquor bottles started to come my way. And I immediately had to I had my elbows like on the top shelf, trying to hold the shelf up from falling with my hands spread across the first row of bottles, getting them to settle down. Like I almost died that day. If those bottles had all come crashing down on me, yeah, I'd probably still be laying down here on this floor bleeding out. But yeah, that's what I stuck them in there, had to rebuild my shelf, and I just haven't gotten around to putting them back up yet. Oh, bottle-arium. There you go. That's what it is. A bottle-arium right now. Hey, look, give me a break, Beth, okay? Out of what time is it? Out of, okay, so PM would make it 48 hours. 48 minus 12 is 36, right? Hang on. Yeah, 48. Eight minus 2 is 6. Yeah, 36. Okay. For someone who has, out of 36 hours, has had only about 4.5 to 5 hours sleep. All right. Stop busting my balls, Beth. Okay. Give me a break. Give me a break. Okay. Because out of 36 hours, I only spent 5 of them at most sleeping. So shut the fuck up.
And my brain's fried because I've been staying up at night to be able to do what I need to on the internet. And because I have issues during the day doing anything.
Beth, you're quite witty. I just noticed that last comment. Yeah, okay. The great bottle attack of 2021. That would make headline news, though. You know, somebody will start with this heat this year. Probably somebody would start smelling me within a week. And they'd be busting down the doors. And they'd locate a nice big puddle of goo on the floor with a bunch of bottles and shelf units and stuff laying all over the place, and they'd put it all together. And yeah, I could imagine that being the headline. 51-year-old white male victim of bottle attack of 2021. Discovered as a pile of goo 1 week after his demise in the middle of one of the hottest summers New York ever experienced. That'd be the whole story right there. My obituary would read, "Here lies Boomer D. He was awesome on social media, but a dick in real life." That'd be my whole obituary.
Damn. And best like you said, I sleep more.
Well, I'm sure you're not up 36-hour stretches at a time. That would kill a normal human being. I mean, every so often it's one thing. You know, like being up for 36, 48 hours even is one thing every once in a while, but you can't be doing that on a regular basis. You would be crazier than you actually are right now, because your mind from sleep deprivation would be oxygen deprived. You'd be going, you know, maybe that's why she don't want to be on panels. Maybe that's what's happened. All those years of having 36-hour bouts of no sleep every week turned her into an old, you know. Hey, I don't know. Is that what happened, Beth? This is what sleep deprivation does to you.
I hear you. Good Lord. I mean, I got a little bit of sleep, but not much.
That was clever,
I had
Beth,
maybe
as
4
well.
hours of sleep
Did you see that-
yesterday.
Did you
Been
see
up
that
ever
one
since.
falling? Did you see that one falling? That was clever as well. RIGP, rest in glass pieces. Instead of rest in peace,
Yep.
rest in glass pieces. Clever, Beth, clever. Wow, you ought to be on America's Got Talent. What's your skill? What are you gonna do for us today? Well, I'm gonna come up with 50 clever retorts to 50 different situations. How's that?
She should make like a little novel or memoir or something.
A guide.
situations and the stuff that like she comes up with for that situation.
or for dummies book. Clever retorts for dummies. Mega, you know, those for dummy books had made a lot of fucking money over the years. Trust me.
Yeah. I think I bought one of them books for something,
Yeah.
and it was something that was really complicated to begin with.
Right.
And it does say warning
Mm-hmm.
on in the book somewhere. It talks about a warning, and they say it's whatever the subject was more complicated than what they can describe in the book. Make it.
Right.
I'm like, damn.
I mean, where do you think Nero gets all of his insults from? He looks them up in the insults for dummies of 1980 book, you know. 1980s edition of insults for dummies. You know, that's where he gets all his jokes from, you know. They come in handy, those for dummy books. I've read a few. I read How to Walk for Dummies, How to Chew Gum for Dummies, How to Walk and Chew Gum for Dummies. And that's with sleep deprivation, and that shit was funny. Come on, you gotta give me credit for that. Shit was funny. I don't care what they say. That shit was funny. My skill is being a wise arse. Yeah, that's for sure. You're best at that than anybody I know. That's for sure. Well, I think Lit Hot Tamara could give you a run for your money in that department, but you guys are at least neck and neck in that contest. Because you both can come up with some crazy ass, smart ass remarks, okay? Y'all clever in that area. It must be the edibles you guys both share or something. I don't know. Yep. Anywho, it's too fucking late to go to bed and sleep now.
Well, unfortunately, like my audio was cutting out really bad. So it looks like I'm going to have to wrap this up.
Yep. I suppose we should. I'm gonna go lay down and get off my arse. Watch some TV. Hopefully I fall asleep at some point. But who knows? But yeah, we'll get together sometime and figure this all out. And like we'll start tweeting each other coded messages or something. We'll come up like with a common key for all of us. Something like that. I think that'd be fun to do. And
Yeah.
definitely let me know when you plan on debuting this little idea of yours. I want to be there.
Cool.
let
Yeah,
me
I'll
know when
definitely
you're gonna do
let you know about that. And I do appreciate you
Yep.
coming up, hanging out, and
it. Absolutely.
educating us a little bit on some types of codes. That was awesome.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, all right, everybody. Much love to you and yours, and keep it real.
All right, take care. And I want to thank everybody that is in the chat. I do appreciate you guys. Everybody that has stopped by and hung out and been a part of this. This is going to be a new little venture for me. I'm hoping this kind of works out. And it'll be a little bit before I go live again. It's in here. Yes, RC. It is definitely getting muggier. And like even with my AC running, it's like it's still a little humid. And it's like the air conditioner hasn't stopped running. Unfortunately, hopefully during the day is going to be better. But much love to you guys. Always remember, you never know what's out there till you spread your wings and fly.